Black African power. What's good? What's happening? Well organized lie. Defeats of disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's Bobby banging this bitch. I be saying, like, is everybody playing in front of my face, man? You know, I got people all around me, and I'm saying, man, is they playing in front of my face? Hard to figure that out, man. Hard to figure it out, yo. Telling you, man. I think I fixed that. I put the word real twice in there, yo. Appreciate that, man. Big up. Big up. But I'm just trying to figure out, is they playing in front of my face? Or are the people just that ignorant? Now, don't get me wrong, man. I remember being that ignorant. But I was only ignorant because I didn't have a person actually having a coherent conversation with me. Because if I would have had that coherent conversation, I would have changed my position within the conversation because that's how wrong I was on a lot of things. Like, for instance, if I'm saying the African this and the African that, and African people's this, the person say, well, you know, that's not actually what the people call themselves. And I know the continent is called Africa, but there's different groups. Which group of people on the continent of Africa are you talking about? And do you understand? It's like Spain and Russia and Portuguese. These are different peoples. So why do you clump them all together? So at that point, I would have had to say, man, you're right. Gave me a good example on how the Brits, the Franks, the Rus, which is the Russians, you know what I'm saying? The Romans, these are different cultural groups with different cultural containers and different religions. And for them to explain to me that way, I'm like, dang. So I'm actually taken away from the polities, from the different institutions and the different religions and the different containers of culture when I clump it all together. Because then the question will be for me, then why don't I clump all of European history together? Or all of Indian history? Why don't I do that? And I would realize that I'm marginalizing something. I'm actually missing out. I'm not, and I could change my position. I would like, okay, let me make sure I got the name. When we talk about Godi or Shanghai, am I talking about the Zulu? It wouldn't take me a whole fight for that. In my ignorance, I could always get educated. But this was through trial and error. I ain't had nobody like that. Hey, chill, I ain't apologizing this shit. Do what you do, nigga. Matter of fact, somebody block this nigga, man. Carter, you playing me like I'm a chump or something, yo. You tripping, yo. Trying to hear that from nobody. Seriously, like threatening me, nigga? Nigga, you got the wrong. I run towards the threat, nigga. Yeah, okay, nigga. I run towards the threat. Make sure you got your ass covered. So let me keep going with this conversation. I don't expect him to see him around no more. Matter of fact, if y'all ain't blocked that nigga by now, yo, let me get the nigga up out of here. Threatening me. Now you got me fucked up. Tripping. Threaten me. You trip. Boy, you got a nerve, yo. I'm telling you, they all play in front of your face, yo. Man, you think you gonna chase me around the board and threaten me with a radio exposing me? You got me fucked up. Let me get your ass about it, man. Hold on, man. Let me make sure this nigga never come back again. Good. Ain't nothing happened. Don't even worry about it. He out of here. So, see, it's always stuff like that. I got people running around threatening me. You know what I'm saying? Trying just nonsense. I got people playing in front of my face. Yeah, man, like for real. This is real wild. So I'm just trying to figure this out. Like I said, there's nobody that can actually be corrected. You know, you got the wild narrative. Y'all, people think they replacing what we do. You ain't replacing what we do. You just gonna add to what we do. Because we the first in space. We the first in this space to actually promote pure 100% scientific literacy with no cut on it. So anybody joining the fight, you either joining the fight or you getting ran over. This is easy work. So I ain't trying to hear, oh, this person, that person. Nah, yo, the brand is strong, man. And I'm saying, like, nobody's listening. They got to be playing in front of my face. Let me make this statement right here, man. Let me show you something that's real. Seriously. I'm gonna give y'all a damn word. If I use the word cumulative, if I say the cumulative development of scientific thought across civilizations, what am I actually saying? If you make a whole case for African science and this, that, you can't do it. Why? Because science is cumulative. It's the cumulative development of scientific thought across civilization. You need more than Africa because it's cumulative. The thought transcends one particular area. Science embodies the human thought. It's cumulative. And so when I give the example of Adam and Eve is not cumulative. The process is simple. God reached down and grabbed some dirt and blew into it, and man became a living soul. That's not cumulative. And they try to make it seem like some kind of way we dog in the ancient civilizations, we dog in the ancient populations. What the hell? What are we talking about here? We're not doing anything. I've done whole lectures to college students on said subject matter. They don't seem to have a problem with it. Don't make me pull the letters that they send me and change their perspective while in college. And then there's the narrative. People jumping off the window trying to help. Man, I don't need nobody to help me. I don't need nobody to double down on nothing. Oh, we hurt. Hurt about what? The thing that hurt me is that there's a group of individuals that spend their time and money. You don't never get any time back. And play it straight across the board. No flim flam even allowed. And everybody attack that. But they not only attack it, they attack it through their ignorance. Man, I like that. 7K7. It's a primitive culture, is a social learning where ideas get refined, increasing complexity from stone tools to smartphones. Laugh out loud. No shit, Charlotte, my man, you own it. Cumulative does not allow for you to just pop up out of nowhere with science. So I can't give my time back for my family, man. Mel the source. Is that who that was? So, Gold, what's going on, man? Omar Reed, man, I appreciate that. You the first to hit that cash app today, bro. Appreciate you, man. Milton, what's good, man? What it do? What it do? Free mind. What's up with you, man? Free minded. Sad talk. What's good? Jody Breeze. Come on, man. So we sitting there supporting, critiquing what I felt like was an important debate conversation, and the bullshit started. Ashe crying. Oh man, they biased. How about we're just critiquing the information? That couldn't be the reason. We hate because you think there's a such thing as African science, but that make us haters. Hmm. Hmm. The scientific method is cumulative. They up there arguing about the scientific method in 77,000 BCE. Is we serious? Like y'all already know I've already did that subject, right? Like 15 years ago, I talked about those caves and those beddings. 15 years ago. So now, lore niggas come on the scene and then mischaracterize it. And I'm saying that's dangerous to our community. I'm saying that is dangerous, man. Because now it's starting to sound a little sciencey. Sciencey. Oh man, they rocking African science. King Jay beat the brakes off that kid. Now, if you was trying to judge whether a person had hyperbole and was loud and talking, then you was in the wrong space. Because actually, you should have been listening. King J did a great job, man. He put that thing on him. Very concise. He ain't had to be high on the street. Easy going. He explained that shit. And he reiterated his points. Somebody this week said, yo, you need to reiterate your points more. Your points more. So let me reiterate this again. The cumulative development of scientific thought across civilizations. Let me reiterate that. Yeah. Come on, man. We should not be sitting here worried about the foolery. Cumulative. Hmm. Boy, I tell you, man, they playing in front of our faces. No way. I never had the opportunity to have a group of people weighed in on any damn debate I had intelligently, specifically in the earlier days, that could give me fair assessment. When I came on the scene, there was nobody there to check me and say, no, not this, not that. No, all I got was ridicule and complete foolery. Oh, you crying? No, I ain't crying. Nigga, I don't cry. I don't hate. I participate. Now that we got this institution in place, and I use the word institution lightly, I'm saying the institution of quality critique of information and calling out the damn pseudoisms. They playing in front of our face. Hmm. Easy scams is playing in front of our face. This man trying to run from a debate because he agreed to a title and then want to change the title, which is well within his right, but he want to change it and boss up and only tell me so I can get in contact with something else. Even at that, you still got to have a conversation with say cool. How don't this man understand it, bro? The issue is not you changing the title. The issue is that you're not working it out with the person you debate. And this man go on for 35 minutes. He playing in front of our face. He easy scamming all day, every day. Why can't he just see that? Nobody can concede. He's part of the damn problem. Nobody can say, you know what, man, you know what, I do need to talk to say cool. And that drag us off to the damn debate topic that we was talking about. So I don't even know if this thing is going down right here. But if it do, make sure you be there. Is the Bible the word of God? Was Jesus a fraud? Was Jesus a lie? 7 p.m. March 28th. Apostle and Morpheus. Support that. The God best versus the God energy. We're the Moors who conquered Spain, black or Negroid. $20 donation, April the 4th. The Moors in Spain. They're going to overwhoop on both ends. It's going to be a tie. Once again, the clown squad. Prove it again. One trying to run away from the debate topic, and the other one delusional and thinking he won the debate by thinking there's such thing as African science. I'm never letting up. I'm never letting up. Boy, I tell you, man. But ain't nothing but the love, though. Ain't nothing but the love for the people, man, that I do this, man. I swear to goodness, yo. Because if I ain't love the people for real, yo, I'd have been just figured out something else to do away from this, man. Because this shit is crazy. They playing in front of our face. What make them think that they can overturn accumulative knowledge for over thousands of years in a few statements? Is it that they don't understand that? Hmm. What is it? I understand them to be 100% scam. 42,000 building, man. Yeah, man, you incoherent. Just incoherent, man. Is it a European science? Did y'all tell it it is? Y'all made us European science. Western science. Yeah, but do you understand what Western science is? You don't even get the Western science in the West. Because these are the areas where it was first practiced, modern science. Crazy work. And what's funny about the whole thing? I ain't even want to do it to him. Hey, bro, in the last 10 years, well, I'm going to say 10 years. I'm going to give him the 10 years. I ain't going to get slick. Now, no, in the last year, no, last 5 years, what did African science bring to the world? They can't answer that. I say again, anybody in the chat talking that talk. What did African science, what medicine did it bring? What inventions did they bring? Scientific experimentation did African science bring the world? They couldn't produce a damn African science didn't produce a vaccine for sure. You mean to tell me African science been around for thousands of years and couldn't produce a little old vaccine? They got a 1,000-year leap on everybody. And science killing the world, but couldn't produce a vaccine in finished form? Yeah, y'all playing. Marginalized communities believe the most. And marginalized communities within marginalized communities really believe the most. And the conscious community is a marginalized community within a marginalized community. Man. I'm going to open up the lines quick on this. All right. But I just wanted to get in a little bit on some real easy 4, 5, 6, 7 slide thing. You know what I'm saying? Something easy. Because I ain't giving up on my people, but man, y'all got to stop playing in front of our face, man. Man, hit that cash that, man. Show some love for the day, man. Send it somewhere where people give a damn. But that debate that could have been functional and helpful for the community ended up being trash. And it was trash because of the wild narrative that occurred after that. Because one debater in particular started saying, we hating, nigga, we ain't hating, we teaching. We trying to help you out. African science. Man, I don't even want to hear that word no more. I swear to goodness, yo. Like, if you come up here talking about African science, I'm going to cuss you out. Nah, I ain't going to do that. Yeah. So I just want to show you the global timeline, yo. Watch this. Watch how this is organized. From indigenous knowledge to modern science. There is no modern science without indigenous knowledge. Do y'all get that? But I thought you said it's across civilizations. Of course it is. So you just saying they only had indigenous people in Africa? So you saying they ain't have herbal plant medicines in Europe? That's all they had. And I'm saying before the cities, before the states, you had hunter-gatherers living all around the world. Oh, y'all thought hunter-gatherers was just in Africa or just in the Adam and Eve's island or something, huh? So y'all tripping. We just want to deal with the evolution of scientific thought, man. Just want to take you on a journey from ancient wisdom to modern understanding, man. Accumulative is the word of the day. Indigenous knowledge. We're going to I'm going to say roughly, because you got to say roughly, 100,000 BCE to 3,000 BCE. Anybody that got some sense at this point can start to see the point. Oh, what starts to occur around 3,000 BCE? Yeah. So that 77,000-year-old cave. Remember, I'm the cave guy. Said voodoo cave. I'm the cave guy around this bitch. Remember? I'm the one that brought the information about the caves. Remember? And I can say that with my chest out because last time I checked, the cons really thought the caves was for the white people. So don't bring no damn caves misconstruing some serious information. So early practical knowledge, astronomical observations, and agricultural calendars across diverse cultures. Like not the Playa, that's 6,000 BCE. That ain't 3,000. You can go to Stonehenge, you can go all around the world and find them starting to figure out the daggone winter and summer solstice. How about that? Not unless you're a pseudo and think Africans ran as fast as they can in different places. Hurry up, let me give you this. I gotta go. Got to go to the next continent real quick. Be right back. So 160,000, when I talk about Pinnacle Point, when I talk about Bloom-Bloss Cave, right? When I talk about the crucible of cultures in South Africa, I'm talking about that indigenous knowledge that came up with. I'm the nigga that brought that. Don't mess up my work. When I say my work, I'm saying don't mess up the way I laid out the source material for people to go and read. Because I tell you what, if you read the scientific articles that didn't come from PubMed, it actually came from the journal of Science. If you read it, it don't say nothing about them niggas practicing science. That's some shit that nigga made up. None of the sources said what he was saying. He added his own wild ass 2 cents to it. Across diverse, what y'all? Cultures. Now we get into proto-scientific traditions, 3000 BCE to 500 CE, the emergence of structured diagnosis, astronomical predictions, see, and rational explanations in early civilization. That ain't goddamn science. I don't care what y'all say. And it doesn't have to be science because it's the foundation of what science is built on. Just like we go back here, Proto-science, the foundation of proto-science, is built on indigenous knowledge. Better ask about me. Classical scientific expansion, 500 to 1500 CE. That's before goddamn Charles Darwin. We've talked about this for years. The Islamic Golden Age. Translated, preserved, and advanced knowledge of optics, algebra, and medicine. Ain't no Europeans involved in this right here. And we talked about how during the Islamic Golden Age, not the Golden Age of the Moors, we talked about the Golden Age, and we talked about how they was artisans, right? And how these artisans were great tool makers. That's a key word there. They was great tool because they started to produce tools. Remember, science didn't even mature like Neil deGrasse says until we developed tools for what? To either extend our senses or eliminate our senses altogether. So these tools they started creating during the Islamic Golden Age. This is the classical scientific expansion. We ain't at modern science. The scientific revolution, systematic empirical investigation, experimentation, and mathematical laws defined a new era of discovery. Look, that is 1500 to 1700 CE. We still not there yet. Modern science, 17 CE to present, institutionalization of science, development of new fields, global, look, see, it's global collaboration and peer review. Just trying to figure it out, man.
Bobby Banger, debate music in this bitch. House music in this bitch. Bobby Banger, debate music in this bitch. Pseudo always dies at the source. Pseudo always dies at the source. Bobby Banger, debate music in this bitch. House music in this bitch. Debate music in this bitch. Pseudo always dies at the source. Pseudo always dies at the source. Bobby Banger, the debate music in this bitch. Yeah. Pseudo always dies at the source. Be more careful. Debate music in this bitch. Pseudo always dies at the source. Be more careful. Debate music in this bitch. Debate music in this bitch. Pseudo always dies at the source. Pseudo always dies at the source. Bobby Banger, debate music in this bitch. Pseudo always dies at the source. Bobby Banger. Debate music in this bitch. Pseudo always dies at the source.
Man, go ahead, man. Jump up here, man. Y'all know what it is, man, because them damn pseudos always die at the damn source, yo. Easy work. Now we know the transitional phases. Now we know how we get from here to there, from 350,000 years to modern science. Who's going to step up with the bullshit? See, this is what's funny. And this is what I love about science and scientific thought. You can't just Google that shit like that. You can't just jump up here and start talking that talk if you don't understand subject matter. You got to read, you got to hear some authors, you got to hear some experts, you got to make some mistakes, a lot of shit you got to do. Can't just start talking that shit. You can't. Oh, it's European. Oh, it's African. It just so happened it culminates in Europe. But why would that be? Intercontinental ships. A lot of different reasons. Huh. They be playing in front of my damn face, man. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody want to talk that talk. Everybody want to do this. Everybody want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to keep running their mouth, yo. Everybody, man, I said the strength in the scientific method is that the world added to it. Diversity is the strength on planet Earth. Diverse thought, diverse ideas, all adding to, what's that word? I repeat, accumulative. Subset talk. What's going on, bro? What it do, man?
What it do, God killer. Let me again. I'm a double down. I'm a shout out King J. And now I'm going extra hard on your head anytime I hear any pseudoisms coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You are now held to officially to a higher standard, my young man. Welcome. Let me just say that off the rip. He did an excellent job of breaking down the philosophy of science, and he did an excellent job of making science a human endeavor. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. It let me know. It gave me more incentive to keep doing what I'm doing, because this is exactly why we do what we do, right? His breakdown, and it was clear. The attempt to make it a semantic argument. I can pull an article right now that is discussing whether the term African science is a applicable term. How do we use this term and what it represents, right? And you can go into the diatribe, but what King J did was excellent. Why? Ashe was pointing to everything that is universal. Every aspect of human nature, which is universal, he was identifying. Hunter-gatherers were all over the world. You forget that prior to Homo sapiens leaving Africa, humans left Africa. We can see in anthropology a lot of activities were done by humans prior to Homo sapiens, like hunting, gathering, butchering, producing fire. These are human endeavors. To use the word science so loosely and so colloquially, now, this is where I'm going to pull rank. As an engineer, as someone that carries a title, ING, in front of my biochemical analysis name, I refuse to call myself a scientist because I do applied science. But because I've been through the academic rigor, I have respect for academia. These people have no respect for academia. They assume their lookership is equal to the 15 years that it takes someone to become an anthropologist in a specific field. Mind you, the 8 years of study, then the specialization in that specific field. We are in these arenas where average Joes, instead of following the method, learning the rigors and appreciating the rigors of science, they throw it out the window. They want to dismiss the hard work that I put in to get the degree that I got to do the type of work that I do. None of them can walk into a laboratory and do nothing but put their hands in their pocket and shake in their boots because there's too much going on. They would freak the hell out. The chemicals and all those weird chemical signs would have them shaking in their boots. They would see the blood and run out the laboratory. They would see some stool and freak the hell out. But they think that they're equally yoked to even have this conversation with me. I'm sorry. That's why I do my SED talks. Because at a certain point, I'm a pull rank and become arrogant. Sit down, little ignorant boy. I have more years as a professional than Ashe has alive, yet he thinks that he's equally yoked with me when you can clearly hear he doesn't even understand the rudimentary stuff in this conversation. Nepal asked him last night what is taxonomy, and he thinks Googling it quickly and reading the definition means now he understands it. Clueless young man. And the arrogance with which they operate is the worst thing ever. Easy Bands is sitting there saying he is equal to Sterling because he stood in the mud after going to school for 15 years. He stood in the mud. He examined these artifacts. He placed them at the altar. He has been studying so he can use his eyes to determine that he is seeing a human. I do not need to have conversations with this level of ignorance. I'm sorry, these are super stupid individuals. And they come up here and they open their yapping mouth as if they are qualified to have the conversation. When I would ask Easy Bands right now, Easy Bands, balance water for me. Balance that chemical process for me. It's water I'm asking you to balance. If you cannot balance water, exit stage left because you're too dumb to have this conversation. I would then be an asshole, right?
Yeah, you would be, because I don't ask me that because I can't do it. I would try to balance.
Neither can I.
Did he say balance in the water? Easy Band, I can balance in some water.
Chemically balanced water.
I can probably balance in some water. So I'll be the same. I'll be calling your asshole steady. Don't act like that.
So y'all really need to slow your roll. You need to slow it down when you're sitting here having a conversation with me. We're not equally yoked by no stretch of the imagination. I'm here to teach. You simply sit at my feet, smell my stinking toes, and learn something. But you're not going to have a conversation equally yoked to me. You're just too stupid. At this point, the gloves are off. I sat down there and listened to Ashe do a complete appeal to emotion. He talked about everything that was universal, making universal science equal to African science, and then still trying to do as if African science was something unique. When we are examining the brain, who did it first is irrelevant. It's part of human endeavor. So either you're saying Africa is the foundation of science, which we all agree, because without those steps, you cannot get to a mansion. You cannot get to a building without knowing how to produce a foundation. The Africans, our initial ancestors, were instrumental in establishing that foundation. Without it, you can't get walls. Without it, you can't get a roof. Today, modern science has put an air conditioner in that building. It's a process. But your simplified, racialized, emotional minds here, the steps that are involved, all of a sudden the Africans are less. No. I keep saying it. Without the work that was done at Nabta by those Africans, the Greeks were ever too lazy, would have not gotten astronomy where it is today. What I'm trying to say is put things in its context. You see, this is the ignorance I'm talking about here. Easy bang. If you can't balance water, just exit stage left. Don't let us have to kick you out. Can you balance water? Yes or no? If you can't, then don't ever assume you're speaking to me. Don't ever do that. I'm done with this nonsense. A bunch of bum squids and a dumb, ignorant nigga. Disrespectful to women and disrespectful to Juju. You better check your scene tonight. I'm not having none of the nonsense. I'm done. Y'all a bunch of pseudo clowns. All said is back.
So can I speak now? All right, bet.
Hold on.
No,
I just want to show this.
And take it.
I just want to show this. Hold on. We're going to get on conversation. I'm going to tell you what we're not going to do today. We're not cussing each other out. You can call each other stupid, though. Since Cedric Foundation for
Yeah, but let me respond, though.
Hold on. You're going to respond. Hold on. I just want to show you something real quick. All right. I want y'all to learn this. I think we have not learned about hunter-gatherers. So let's start with cooperation and the evolution of hunter-gatherer storytelling. I think we should start there. I think I started the class too damn soon. I actually think I did. We should have learned and understood what quote-unquote hunter-gatherers was. I don't think we understand hunter-gatherers. Now, I recognize that. I don't think we understand hunter-gatherers. We actually don't. We don't know what a hunter-gatherer is, do we? Different websites, right, on hunter-gatherers. Do we know what a hunter-gatherer is? I'm not sure we actually do. I start to recognize that we don't know what a hunter-gatherer is. We have no respect for them. We spit on them. We make them something they're not. We do all that. So start with a Wikipedia article, right? And somebody need to read what a hunter-gatherer is, because this is the foundation right here. See all them plants and all the, see that early construction of home? See all that? That's it right there. Your religion come out of them plants, your medicine come out of them plants, your construction of homes come out of them plants. Right there. And if you don't understand that right there, yo, I'm saying you're not going to understand my conversation. Because my conversation is saying, what you looking at right here is a foundation. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying them people is proud. And I'm saying I'm not gonna take modern science and evaluate early indigenous knowledge and put them beside each other and say, see, look at that. I'm never doing that. And that's what y'all do. Disrespectful. Go ahead, Easy Bands. What's on your mind, man?
All right, so basically said is just explaining why nobody really wants to have a conversation with him. That's why nobody cares about him. He's irrelevant. He's disgraceful. He doesn't know how to carry himself as a grown man. And, he's one of those type of people, you give him the rope and let him hang himself type person. So I don't really need to go back and forth with him. He just proved why he's an idiot. So, Ankh, when coming back to this topic, Cedric was actually here when you made the claim. I know you remember we had a conversation, and I was trying to explain to you how human beings are different from, the rest of the animals on Earth, right? And I told you, I said specifically that animals aren't able to perform science the way we are. And your response to me was to give me an example of the bees. And you and Cedric were like,
no, you said, give me an example of the animal. I said,
no, I didn't say that.
I thought you said, give me an example of animals that practice science. I said, go ahead.
No, so your thing was to prove that, practicing science isn't something that's
exclusive to humans,
basically. And you said that bees practice science, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I try to explain to you that they don't perform the same type of science that we do, and you guys just kept on going with the bees example and showing that yeah, they do. So
that's not how that went. That's not actually how that went.
I mean, we could play the video back.
No, I don't feel like playing the video. I'm gonna tell you. First of all, I'm gonna do this.
But that's exactly how it went.
Hold on for a minute. So I forgot who I was talking to, and you took that shit literal. Okay.
What?
You actually thought that I thought they made some glass beacons and then come on, bro. That ain't what I was basically saying. I'm just saying, like, listen, Easy Band, that's fine. Easy Band, hold on. Easy Band, hold on.
Y'all showing how y'all
Easy Band,
Easy
Band, hold on. Hold on. To have modern science, they would have to create tools, bro.
That's what I was
saying. Bro. So hold on. So Easy Band, but watch this, Easy Band. Not a problem. I overstated my position. Can we move forward now?
All right, cool.
See how easy? Hold on. See how easy that was? See how? Hold on. See how I didn't play in front of your face? See that? Easy work.
You just did.
I did. I said I forgot who I was talking to. You took me literal. Like they was making beacons and all that. And then you still push back. I said, you know what, yo? Okay, I've overstated my position. That's what I said.
So you're wrong. So you're wrong, right?
No, nigga, I overstated my position. Because I never meant that they was actually practicing modern science. Never meant that.
So you're wrong.
But I could see, no, I was not wrong. Because I never thought that. But what I'm saying is I overstated my position. I overbooked it too much hyperbole, and you took me literal. So not an issue. So I say I'm gonna take that back. So if you can't take that, then that's what it is.
So now,
if you look for a got you moment, then that's what that is.
It's either you agree or you don't agree. So now, what you're doing is trying.
I'm saying the bees.
Let me speak, yo. Let me speak.
Go ahead and speak. I'm not gonna hold on. Yeah. Wait. This is what I'm not doing. I'm not spending the rest of this show.
He was talking about observation.
Get your point on. Get your point. Go
He's
ahead.
trying to get a win.
Just go ahead, man. Get it out the way. Go ahead,
bro.
And you don't even understand the nuances.
Listen, I was the
Animals
one
make tools.
Here goes
they do all type of stuff. And then gatherers watch them.
Here goes with another.
Sometimes they emulate.
And yo, what are you doing, man? Why are you just letting us speak like that?
I don't even know enough.
And then when I cuss her out, you're gonna start crying.
You can cuss me out, but you don't have no heat for none of these men over here.
You're gonna get kicked off the panel the moment you try, you dumb, ignorant fool. Not today.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. Hold on.
You had no heat for nobody.
I got heat for everybody.
Weird.
This is what we doing. Look, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna mess up this show because it's too early in the show.
Why are you allowing it though?
I'm not allowing
you
nothing.
said you were gonna cuss me out.
Yo, Ankh, take control of this shit, man. This is your show, bro.
Emotional intelligence, bro.
Come on, yo, stop acting like you cussing. We're not cussing nobody out. We're not doing that. Go ahead and finish it. Is this what you want to talk about? The birds and the bees? Or do you have another issue? Because I'm moving from that.
So let me speak, bro.
Yeah, but you say it and get out the way. We're gonna move. Go ahead.
Like, what's wrong with you? Yo, this is why
I'm gonna tell you wrong with you.
We can never have a conversation because of this, man.
Because you
talk too long, man.
Because it's my fucking show.
I haven't even. There you go. It's my fucking show.
Right.
My fucking show.
Let him off the panel. We can talk. We don't need him.
That's that goofy shit. That's why I don't. Every time I come on this joint, we can never.
And just make your point, bro. No, make your point. Make your point, Easy Bags. Go ahead.
This is my point, right? Even when we had. So you saying, "Oh, I remember who I was talking to," blah blah blah. It wasn't about that. What I was telling you was that animals don't do modern science. Animals don't do science the way human beings do science. That's what I told you.
Okay, you got.
We were able to, and I went on after that. I went on after that to explain what I meant. They're not able to collect information and pass it.
Not true. Bees collect information.
Why you interrupting me?
Because you're wrong. Because you're wrong. Because you're wrong.
Why won't you let me speak?
Because you're wrong.
Wrong about what?
Because bees do collect information and pass it on.
So hold on.
Now,
do they build off that information?
Yes, they do. Yes, they. Don't throw the word the way we do. Don't throw the word in the way we do. When I already conceded that I overstated my damn position.
When we had the original discussion, that's exactly what I did. I said, all right, man, whatever.
Finish. Go ahead, because I want to get on to something else.
So what are you counting about, man?
Because you running out on this subject. We're gonna move to another subject.
Yo, bro, just respect yourself, respect me, and we'll be cool, man. But when you start acting like that, we can't progress, man.
Man, I just want to talk about something else, yo.
Nah, let me talk about what I got to talk about. Then
No, this ain't the show though. This ain't the show though. The show ain't about the
why'd you ask me to come up?
I didn't ask you to come up, nigga. You hit the link.
All right, peace then.
You want to talk about? I thought you wanted to talk about something else.
All right, peace then.
Like African science.
So why you got my picture up there and talking about me, man?
Because you're a clown.
You're
a clown. In that position.
You're a bigger clown.
In that position,
you're a bigger clown.
I might just be.
That's what
but I got the picture, but you don't. So
you
go
just
make the picture.
All right, cool.
No, I'm gonna let you talk, but I don't want to talk about the bees. I've already said I overstated my position.
Let me speak. Let me say what I gotta say, man.
You got 15 seconds, yo. Hold on, I'm gonna start my clock.
Man, listen.
So listen,
right? So listen. I came. We had that discussion, right? This is just to show how hypocritical you are, right? How hypocritical you are. And look, you got all the fangirls laughing and stuff like that because they know y'all goofy, man. Y'all cannot stand up to a real man when I come through. You feel me? Y'all cannot stand up. It's all goofy stuff, right? But anyway, so we had the discussion. And I was basically trying to tell everybody how human beings are different from animals. And you said, and one of the things I was saying was that animals can't perform science the way that we do. You said, no, bees do perform science the way that humans perform science.
Lies.
That's what y'all said.
Lies.
Right? Now all of a sudden we're having a new conversation.
Now having a new conversation, I'm done.
Hold on. Yeah. So now we're having a new conversation, right? On ancient humans performing science. And then now all of a sudden you guys switch it up and say, no, ancient humans are not performing science. So I'm showing the crowd, everybody listening, I'm showing the contradiction and the hyperbole with y'all and the BS. Because now all of a sudden we're saying that the ancient humans weren't performing science.
Are you done? Let's illustrate ignorance.
Before you're saying that bees are performing science. So are you telling me?
Okay, so here's my question.
Are you telling me that bees can perform science, but ancient humans weren't performing science?
Yeah, it was some hunter-gatherer bees. So some indigenous science now. Yeah.
First of all, you're saying that
science. It was some proto-science, yeah.
So you're saying bees were performing science.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you what I'm saying. Can you mute your mic?
I'm not talking to you.
Tell you what I'm saying.
I'm not talking
to you. Mute your mic.
I'm not talking to you.
Mute your mic.
Yo, I'm not talking.
Mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Pink lips. I'm not talking to you, bro.
First of all, the conversation.
I'm asking you a question, man.
Bro, mute your mic. I'm talking.
Are you saying that bees perform science and ancient humans perform science?
I said I'm done.
I'm talking. Ankh said he's done. I'm talking. Mute your mic. So first of
all, you act like you can't hear.
You again. Maybe it's because
you act like you can't hear. I don't like that. I don't appreciate
maybe it's because you're slow.
So, yes or no?
You can't process information.
Yes or no, man?
So the
you made a statement that bees were performing science, but you're saying that ancient humans were not performing science.
Can you mute his mic? Mute his mic.
Is that your claim right there?
All right, okay, we got you, brother. No problem.
Is that your claim?
No problem, brother.
Is that your claim?
Go ahead. Next. Go ahead, Cedric.
So again, here we see either it's the intellectual deficit that we're dealing with, or the emotional conviction, or like a true believer, he needs to lie. The conversation was about human exceptionalism, and we said, yes, humans are unique, not exceptional. You made the claim, can bees gather information? You did not mention science. You were talking about these steps, observations, etc. And we alluded to, yes, bees send out worker bees to do observations, scouting areas to put their newest nest. So that was the conversation. Now you're saying that you were talking about modern science, but no, that was not the conversation. You are a liar. You are a liar.
What is that? Yellow journalism? You just lied.
So you're
man, come on, bro.
No, hold on. He called me a liar, right? Let me defend that.
I called you a liar because you got to give proper context. Other than that, you're being intellectually dishonest. Go tell the Gambians the truth. Stop lying to the whole community. Other than that, you're being intellectually
Stop being a walking liar, all right?
Only person that needs to know the truth is my husband.
Stop lying about being Muslim. Stop lying to the Gambians.
About the wrong thing.
Easy bands. Look.
Yeah.
Stay on topic, yo.
All right, bet.
Right.
If she gonna, all right, cool.
No, stay on topic, bro.
Let me stay on topic.
I'm a pseudo killer. I have the right to speak and respond to you.
All right.
You don't want me to. You don't have to be on the panel.
All right, Gambian Muslim.
Right. Thank you.
All right, Gambian Muslim. All right, cool.
So
back to the conversation. The conversation was me showing, I was trying to show Ankh how human beings are special and how we're able to perform science in the way that we do. And I was differentiating it from animals. Ankh was arguing the opposite. He was saying that animals also perform science, right? And I was like, yo, do they perform science the way that we do? He said yes. And then he went into...
What did I say now, though? What did I say just now?
I heard that.
No. What was my latest stance on that?
You said you
got to deal with the person latest stance.
You said
okay, so if I overwhooped it, because I forgot who I was talking to, then why you keep trying to use it against me?
Let me finish. Let me finish.
But you can't use it against me. You got to move on, bro. You got to move on, bro.
Why don't you want me to? Bro. He said you can't.
You got to move on.
Nah, bro. Let me finish, bro. What are y'all scared of? You want an echo chamber in here?
Because we bogging down the conversation,
bro. You want an echo chamber? You don't want to be. You don't want to be confronted.
This is going to do for you. You're going to get your ass up off here. Let's move on to the next topic. Yeah, next topic. All right, not doing this. First of all, the nigga's a fucking idiot. If you sitting here thinking that I thought that bees created telescopes, microscopes, and all that, you a damn fool. You playing around. Didn't even take the time to watch the damn episode when the conversation was based on bees and science and how they actually did it. You didn't do that. You just ran your mouth like you always do. Like good Christians do. You don't want to have a coherent conversation. There's a certain eloquence to the conversation. I said, quit easy, man. I didn't realize who I was talking to. You went to, okay, bro, you think I bet. I forgot who I was talking to. I said it was hyperbole. And everybody know what that means? You the only one sitting up here thought I said they made the space shuttle. It's nonsense, man. Yeah. But he say all that to say that I'm saying that if bees can practice science, watch this, then why are you saying that hunter-gatherers didn't practice science? Nigga, because you ain't there to understand the conversation. That's what it is. It ain't me. It's definitely you. Trust me, it's definitely you. Now go back to your Bible and get on your knees and pray for salvation, African, from Africa. You go do that. You go figure that piece out. You go figure out why you abandoned your ancestry. You go figure out why you think that your people ain't know what the hell they was talking about because you came up here and said that. You want to talk about what people say out their mouth? How about that? You told me that them Africans was evil and wicked and practiced witchcraft. You said that. You said that about your own people since you're talking about Juju and Gambia. What about you, Christian? Now, yeah, we got that figured out real fast.
You know, peace, peace, said. What up, Juju? How you been, sis?
I'm good, Samuel.
You know what amazes me?
Samuel.
I'm good. What amazes me about these Bible-thumping Black Christians is the disrespect that they have for other Black people and our traditions and Africa and the traditions of the people that they claim to come from. It is so mind-boggling to me. And the disrespect and the games that they try to play to try to sound intelligent. It's like, if you don't know, just say you don't know. That's the first sign of intelligence. At that point, you can learn. But nah, they just gotta sit up here and lie and flam and try to make arguments up. For what? What are they gaining?
So if you go back, go ahead.
That should be the thing they ask themselves. What are they actually gaining?
I figured it out. It's anti-academicism. I don't know if that's a word, but you hear it in their diatribe. They are anti-establishment. They are scholastic endeavor. They want the room to make it up as themselves, right? So if you equate what the hunter gatherers were doing as science, what Ashe is doing is definitely high level science. What God energy doing is next level science. No, they don't want to accept the the rigor that requires in academia, the guidelines that you need to play by, the strict rules. So arguing with these individuals is almost impossible. We are playing by a set of strict rules. You saw it today. King J clearly explained the philosophy of science. Why? If we are using the word science, we are going to use it in the proper context, especially if you're having an academic discussion. Throwing the word science around in its colloquial sense is a misnomer. I keep saying it. My daughter, 8 years old, she is doing learning to plant seeds, right, and watching that process. You know what's that called in school? Science. But her daddy is intellectual enough to know, okay, she's learning the rudimentary steps to observation. She is learning to document systematically her observations. She's learning how to become scientifically literate, to take away words that are subjective and just clearly write down your observations. She is running the steps that the building blocks to when she actually gets to do science, but it's in a colloquial sense. So now we're dealing with a set of unacademically trained individuals, a bunch of, and they refuse to take guidance. Everything that Ashe is speaking about is rooted in a blackology. He's talking about the white man science. Everything he's doing is flawed. It's a problem. And Sarnetta, me addressing this, I'm being a responsible adult. I am talking to young men where I see the possibility for them to grow. And I understand the entertainment value. But to label my critique from a perspective of hate, for what? For what? I have my academic career is longer than Ashe is alive. What is there to be hateful about? What is there to be jealous about? My 5 eldest kids are all college graduate or in college. What's there to be jealous about? What's there to be to feel threatened about? There is nothing there. What I'm doing is educating the young man, and you are denying him the opportunity to grow because he got his ass handed it to him tonight, and you maybe see that potential cash cow getting roasted before he's ready. No, take him in the back, let him get ready to be that debate on your platform. Or you're trying to create the trifecta. Polite, young Pharaoh, and Ashe is going down the same road. Like, at a certain point, you too, Sarnetta, needs to learn that you may need to tweak that formula a bit. I think you start to need to listen to Nepal a bit more. You coming at the pseudo killers for being responsible. You're coming at the brand because King J, who is also part of the HOK, whooped what you deem to be the next upcoming. No, Sarnetta, your bet was simply wrong this time. And you have a track record of being wrong. This is going to be your trifecta. And then exponentially, because you got 3 bums up there. Pumping them up, and they sound ignorant and illogical. God Energies does a 200-slide presentation to make the whole work back, and his opening slide is based on folklore. Come on, give me a break. What are we doing here? Really? You think that is a quality that the pseudo killers are even? What I'm upset about is that I'm going in. I sat
say
there
something
and
from TED Talk. You got TED Talk. I mean, say something for TED Talk.
Out of here with the nonsense.
Oh my goodness. We need the extinguisher. The kitchen's on fire.
Mm-hmm. No, keep going because I'm finding the exact episode and I'm gonna play the clip.
Oh God, why? Now I want you to put Buddha, Brother Buddha's comment. I think that's important. You know. Oh, I just wanted to see people this book called The Atheist Muslim.
Shut up!
I mean, you know, they gotta stop it. That's all. You can put it down. That's all.
Yeah, something wrong with all that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, bro.
Who can? Okay, you said that right there.
Yeah. No. When you, yeah. That's right. When you fix your face to say white man science, you disrespect the contributions of blacks added to humanity's intellectual achievement, and that's right.
That's right.
You know, I'm in probably in almost every phase of science. There was someone who, like me and you, that was involved. You know, so I think that is very problematic, especially when we're talking about modern science. Even in scientific racism, we have gynecology because women suffered at the hands, you know, of a said scientist. But he's the foundation. You know, black women, not women, black women suffered. So even with Henrietta Lacks, people want to rant and rave about that. Yes, it was unethical what they did. Without her eternal genes, though, we wouldn't have some of the scientific achievements and advancements that we do in cancer and HIV and vaccines and everything else. So, you know, I mean, you can eat the fish and spit out the bones, but I'll take scientific achievements that will move us forwards for 3,000, Alex. You know, the family's getting paid. So, you know, justice has been done, but yeah, it's not an all white man science. It's lots of players in that. And a lot of them look different than just white. So we got to get out of that. We got to stop that. That's some old stuff that we just need to let go at this point. Don't forget Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, you know, and then I implore you to learn 10 African-American scientists and 10 Black African scientists. Like, teach your children this, because a lot of times the people that are saying these things, they can't do that. They can't tell you nothing from nothing. So that's a problem. That's all I got. You can continue to cook, Stitch.
So let's get back to the debate and the title and the semantic flim-flam, right? Let's understand what debate is. You got a proposition, African science, and that was examined. The fact that people say the word African science doesn't mean that there's actually a thing called African science. Because when you examine what Ashe was pointing out, everything that he described was universal and attribute to human nature. Some of the best trackers in the world are Native Americans. Did that come from being connected to Africans? That's human nature. You see humans building all over the world, and you usually see a broad base and they go up. Prior to the advent of concrete, where you can build single-story buildings, and the development of masonry, and even masonry, most masons were illiterate. They weren't practicing science. They had technology. They had tools and technology. So they understood how to build an arch that it wouldn't fall down. Were they able to calculate the downward and upward force? Were they applying physical calculations? When we talk about metallurgy, before you have the periodic table, you are not engaging in a scientific endeavor. It's trial and error. At the same time, Ashe is making the point, he's talking about who had the best metallurgy. He illustrates that metallurgy was a phenomenon being practiced all over the world. Some places had better development because maybe doing the practice longer, but independent development of these technologies. Human endeavor. You refer to Nabta-Playa, but you forget Göbekli Tepe, which is far older than Nabta-Playa. So purely African or human endeavor. King J was so on point, it is remarkable. And when you look at indigenous traditions all over the world, once they lack that empirical basis, once they lack an explanation for how this particular formula or practice works, it is not science. It is not reproducible. It is only that particular shaman or that particular medicine man that has the formula. It isn't science. I never said that those practices didn't save lives. Modern medicine comes out of studying the plants, the extracting the chemical components that were the reactive agents. Like Ashe suggested, eating the bark of a willow tree cured or stopped your headache, but they did not know that it was the acetyl salicylic acid that was active. Come on. Can't we make that distinction? Is that so emotional? Are we so tied to it? Let me ask you this. If science is such of the white man thing, why you need to impose that word on Africa? Why?
No, I don't know. But
I just think it's I think a lot of people they think that, you know, how we got here today is through African cultural diffusion, and that's not actually how it happened. Every culture, every people group, you know, have their own science, their own things. But yeah, there was some sharing, but you know, in hunter gatherers, you're fighting for food and water and territory. That's a different reality, you know. And I think also the problem of placing like
Hunter
our modern
gatherers are not even interested now holding up.
onto ancient people. You know, we tend to do that instead of looking through the lens of the ancient people. We looking, you know, at them how we are today, and that's a fundamental mistake. You know, so everybody didn't get everything from Africa. It just did not happen. You know, and then I implore you to explain to me why, and just not slavery, because Africans had a form of slavery. Mark my words correct. I implore you why Africa is still in the state it is. And these are all Black countries. So where is the African science now? How is that moving Africa forward now? Please, I implore you to explain that to me.
What's good with it, y'all?
What's good with you? What's on your mind? What's on your mind, man?
What's up, Gala?
I seen that debate earlier. You know, King J mollywopped him, yo.
And they think we hating when we say that. It's crazy shit ever, yo.
No, it's based on the information. Like you tripping, bro. You can't get past things. It's crazy.
No respect to King J.
Yeah, respect the King J, yo. You know,
But
Jay,
you ain't getting no more room. Yeah. You ain't getting no more room from us. There is no more room for your pseudoisms. I'm coming down extra hard on you anytime I hear some craziness coming out of your mouth, because you were damn well in that debate. So now the pressure is on you, my brother. You got to step it up.
That's the wrong approach. You should be like, come on over here, King J. You can come to this side because you're on the right track. We got that Discord link for you.
Yeah, come on, King J. You need to be over here. Yeah. Really.
You're no longer a pseudo, King J. Come on.
No, you're not a pseudo anymore. That's for sure. After today, I'm not calling you a pseudo again, and that's why you're held to higher standards. So find your way over here and get to tweak it, because that was an excellent job.
Yeah, fade. He's gonna fade on us. He's gonna fade back. So, okay, first of all, y'all can find that episode. I'm gonna put this in the chat for y'all, all right? I don't think I can actually play it, but here, I'm gonna put this in there for y'all. All right. Y'all need to get in the dang server for real. Yeah, that's for the server. I don't care if don't nobody All right, so I'm dropping this in the server. All right. Okay. All right. And then, by the way, I don't know why everybody's just using one part of the scientific method. They go to observation and stop. They forget about the hypothesis. They forget about the development and testing the whole method. They forget about all that. Oh,
we understand there's a certain level of fluidity to the scientific method, but there are certain principal components that always come back, right? You need observation, or you need a phenomena, or you need an idea. You need a particular problem that you want to solve. You need your hypothesis. You need your testing that produces data. That data is going to solidify your hypothesis. And never forget, this is the part that we are forgetting. If everything I did was correct, in the future, you are supposed to see this and this and that. That novel, testable prediction is something that we cannot forget. That is fundamental to the scientific process. If my explanation is correct, you're gonna have that what you call it, prediction. Novel, testable prediction.
Yeah, Juju.
Hello?
30 seconds.
Hold on for a minute. So let me come right here. All right. Now, so basically, y'all need to elect the cosmos. All right. Now, episode 7. Okay, Cosmos Possible World 2020. Continuation of Cosmos search. Okay, episode 7. Search for intelligent life on Earth.
I got you.
All right. Okay, go ahead. The dog got you.
No, my dog just fell.
Dropped it down.
He all right, but that's what he get for trying to be greedy. He put the chair down. It was funny. He's fine, y'all. He's fine. Where you want to start?
Right here, episode 7, right here.
Stop, Yoshi. Episode 7, the search for intelligent life on Earth. In the episode, Neil deGrasse Tyson discusses honeybee communication. This is the waggle dance. How bees communicate distance and direction of food sources using angles relative to the sun. How the hive reaches decisions through collective problem solving and consensus. The episode describes a bee swarm as a kind of distributed intelligence where individual bees contribute information and the colony collectively chooses the best solution. Tyson uses this to illustrate an important scientific idea. Intelligence and problem solving do not always belong to a single brain. Complex systems like bee colonies can show emergent behavior that resembles scientific reasoning. Scientific background reference in the episode. The bee behavior Tyson refers to comes from the work of Carl von Frisch, who discovered the waggle dance and showed that bees encode spatial information about food source in their environments. In simplified terms, the angle of the waggle equals direction of the food relative to the sun. The duration of the waggle equals distance to the food. Other bees interpret the dance and test the hypothesis by flying there. This resembles a basic scientific process. Observation, scout bee finds nectar. Communication of a hypothesis. Dance. Testing. Other bees investigate. Consensus. Decision by the colony.
So that's the basic. No, that's it. That's just if you want to see the episode. And I put the episode inside our chat so y'all can watch it. The shit is serious. Right? Y'all couldn't do it. Talking about bees, y'all couldn't do it. All right, simple as that. So that's the proper framing of it. All right. There you have it. Just let you know I just ain't sit here and make that up. What's going on, Social? What's on your mind, brother? What it do? Pseudo Killer Fisher.
Yeah. Peace, everybody. Yeah, I missed the beginning part of the show, but when y'all started, but I mean, I like the fact that they're trying to have that discussion. That like that's part of like the building block discussions. Because I mean, You go back to like really old Slow Killer show years and years and years ago. You know, we were talking about the distinction between the Egyptians practice chemistry and
right.
So, you know, I like the fact that they're there. That's a good point to be at. You know what I mean? But I look at it like, not to be arrogant, like that kind of like peering down into maybe like an elementary school classroom. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to hold them to anything really hot, because I could tell like he don't know enough to know that he's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they got to kind of go through that.
Who is that? You talking about Ashe?
Yeah. He got to know what is science and what is not science, right? So the way that the title was weird, you know what I mean? And I hate when debates and titles are situated where you may win off semantics, whereas the pure intent of the debate was probably along the lines of, is what they're saying is African science equates to actual science. I think that part was the pure intention of the debate, and you know, and you can see that based on how he was arguing, right? Because if the argument was, is there anything such as African science, you could just source. All you had to do was source people saying African science, PhDs, and it's, I was in there all day. Here's so and so saying the word African science. Here's so and so in the book, and then you don't even got to even go into the whole what they did, because that's irrelevant. I just want to show you that people actually say the word African science. So I hate when debates are structured like that. So you'd be like, you know what I mean? But I think King J did a good job of explaining the differences, and you know, Ashe's pushback shows, you know, how much he don't understand about, you know, what is science, and you know, thinking that you can still add magic and religion to it and still be science. Like, you know what I mean? They had them conversations, man. So it is what it is. I'll go ahead.
But to have that conversation and fight the way he fight, that don't make no sense. He fight like he got it. He fight like he comprehended, like he understand it. He's fighting from that position. They don't, science is a universal thing. Simple as that. Okay? There's nuances to understand. Not even nuance. It's just plain, bro. Modern science incorporates the scientific method. There's no scientific method in the time period you're talking about. So it ain't modern science. I gave him the different stages of it. Right? Seriously, like if you can't even figure out it's cumulative, there's that word again. They don't even understand that. If you can't understand, if you're making people at 100,000 and 77,000 practice science, then you're speaking in language of cartoon. You got them being a cartoon. You got your own cartoon made up, because you can't be talking about those people. You can't possibly be talking about those people at 77,000 years ago, knowing that they had created a daggone pesticide and knew what it was they was doing. Knew the chemical. They didn't know none of that. But they had empirical data on which plants, you know what I'm saying, acts kept insects away. That's high level. But that's still not science. Right? And you gotta be able to transmit it right. The Dogon, this nigga said the Dogon was not practicing astronomy.
Yeah, but you know, I think you know, when you say that, bro, all they're hearing is Africans are inferior, and you're discrediting African peoples, and to push Europeans ahead of them. And they see everything he did, like, so that's why a lot of stuff is gonna just fall on deaf ears. You can tell by what the people come on and say afterwards. You can tell what man's hurt. All you gotta do is listen to, you know what I mean? So like I said, that you know, that arena, I mean, that's just what that is. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna change no time soon. They're in the right spot. You know what I mean? To be that. Now, you know what I mean? Will they ever grow to be something else? I don't know, because they're getting praised for being that. So who knows?
Yeah, man. So it's crazy, man.
Big in the building.
Yeah, space age African.
What's going on, man? Big man.
Peace.
What it do? What it do?
Good to see you, fam.
What's happening, Queen? You all right?
Yeah, chilling. Have to fight
What's
off these
up?
dumb pseudos. That's all.
Yeah, trying to get sophisticated now.
Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. We got said going nuts on them.
Hey, you remember your boy that had discovered the city discovered the star? Or whatever? What was it do? I forgot to say was discovered a star or something.
The other guy's star.
Oh, yeah, you'd have loved him. He over there saying, astronomy is better suited as astrology. And he don't understand why we doing it. You'd have loved that shit, bro.
I was on that one. We was.
Oh, you was there?
Yeah, I remember that.
No, I said he just said that tonight.
Oh, again? No, okay.
Yep.
A few years back.
Yeah, said that tonight.
Oh.
How y'all say astronomy better than astrology?
Oh no, I missed that. I remember a cat a few years ago was saying he had discovered a star or something.
Yeah.
I think his name was Asar.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Some car. Yeah.
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 China get that paper down. He never produced that paper though.
No,
Yeah, that's
never
Mr.
will.
Humanity. That's Mr. Humanity. That things convergent and divergent evolution are something that are verses. Man, I still need to see him for that debate. I'm not letting that one go. I need to beat the brakes off of him.
They make some wild claims, man, but that's that nothing to to show for it. You overturning science, but you overturning it in your brain. And it's just the thing that gets me the most is not keeping it into context. You just saying science where there's levels to it. There's proto-science and so forth and so on. So, I mean, if you want to track the sun, all you need to do is find like a telephone pole, a flag pole or something that's to the east of it and watch where the sun rises every morning. That's proto-science. This right here is modern science.
Mm-hmm.
What you see behind on there, that's modern science. Us being able to stream on StreamYard, that's modern science. You know what I'm saying? So it's you gotta keep it in the context, man. And I think that's one of the things they got a problem with, saying bees are doing science, but our ancestors wasn't doing science. That's too broad. That's not in the proper context.
Can you tell us how many steps between the stick and the telescope?
Oh man, bro, thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? A few thousand years.
They got the people out there being the Flintstones out there. They got the Flintstones and Gazoo helping them out.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Not Gazoo.
What's up, Francis? No, good. You're not finished. Good. My fault. Hold on,
Good
Francis.
night. Good night. So are you arguing that there was no science in ancient Africa, or are you making a distinction?
Distinction. Proto-science.
I'm making a distinction. Making a distinction.
Right. So you're saying there's no such thing as African science, it's just science.
Right.
You shouldn't make that distinction then.
No, because then I would ask you, what is the African science done in the last 2 years? I'm listening.
No, I would understand your point that according to science, we should not separate that. But if we're going to talk about the things that make up science, I think Africa definitely played an important role in what we call science today.
That's a different conversation.
I don't think that
Totally
should be
different
discounted.
conversation.
I would call it African science. I would say that there is such thing as African science. And I would understand why you would disagree with that. But I would definitely say there's such thing as African science.
Give me an example
Now, when I say African science, I mean in terms of the origin of science. Not necessarily that is so different.
Give me an example.
Yes, so sorry.
For you.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Juju.
So, a lot of Africans in science A lot of them get their degrees in England and in America. So would you call the science they're involved in African science? If they did it in the United States, is that still African science?
I'm saying I don't disagree that there's such thing as African science. I do understand your point why you would not say that.
Well, I'm
not disagreeing with. I
got it.
I see your point, but I disagree with your point.
Right. Respectfully, that's fine. Another thing, have you ever watched Star Chasers? You remember that scientist's name, Anthony?
No, I still remember off the top of my head.
He's a Senegalese astrophysicist.
Yeah, that's the one where they were looking for the star.
They was trying to put the things on the asteroid.
Remember? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
it was waiting on it to pass in front of the certain star.
To pass. So I'm gonna find his name, but this was an astrophysicist. He was from Senegal, right? And he set up some instruments in Senegambia somewhere. The story is also good. I can't even find the movie no more because it talks about the Senegambian stone circles, the problem with how religion is hindering scientific advancement within the country. And this is coming from a Senegalese man, okay? And if you've ever been to Senegal or Gambia in particular, you'll understand why. It's very Muslim, okay?
That was going on during Ramadan, wasn't it?
It was going on during Ramadan, and he was trying to convince the Muslim leaders why using science can actually influence the religion because he wanted to open the door for the young people. Mm-hmm. However, he was doing the scientific endeavor and placing these measuring things so they can measure the asteroid as it passed. Now, he didn't do these things by himself, though. Yes, he was in his country and his continent. Yes, he's an African scientist, but NASA was partnering with him to do this. So I think it's limiting when you say African science, because then you leave out a whole bunch and a lot of African scientist players when you say that. And I think that's one of the problems we have with the conversation. That's what I do. I'll speak for myself. I'm sure me and Anthony might agree on that because I do an astrophysics show and I would showcase African scientists every week and implore people to learn about this. And if you learned about them and learn about their work, you'll see they're not isolated, right? They don't live in a bubble. So I'm just thinking it's a fundamental problem of how we're thinking.
I do see your point, but I don't think that you're leaving out anyone when you say African science. I think you're just letting people know that a lot of these.
Nah, you know what, man? I ain't got time, yo. Like if you trying to learn, you're not.
Because
I don't got time, bro. If you trying to learn, you're not, yo. Like you even trying to learn, you're not, yo. You're not gonna tell me that a daggone Model T is a fucking Ferrari. You is not gonna get up here and do that.
But why
are you not doing
it? Can I do one more?
I was trying to make a point, and why you being
because it's frustrating, yo. Because you understand. You understand because you understand.
I'm trying to have a conversation.
Because you're not trying to have a conversation.
I understood what she said.
No, you didn't understand what she said because you keep saying it.
I did understand what she said.
You're unteachable, but you're unteachable. So what's your question around that?
That way.
No, we're not concerned about what you're seeing. What's your question around the subject?
He didn't have a question. I want to respond to this point. He already said something. So you said you don't see my point with that because you believe in.
No, I didn't say that.
Wait. Let me finish. Don't cut me off. I'm not on. I didn't do that. Okay. So you said yes, but you see my point, but you don't agree because you said African science doesn't exclude. But it does because African science is juxtaposition white science. So somebody's not being honest here. And then you have African figures in what y'all calling white science. Kismikia Corbett, she would be a part of what y'all calling white science, but she's an African American. You have a Nigerian that was a part of that COVID vaccine that y'all hate so much, which would be white science, but he's an African. So I'm just like, I need
fair enough point, Juju. That's a fair enough point.
Can I ask a question, family? Like, okay, if I subscribe, like, I understand the framework that they're using when they say African science, right? So
explain that to me because I don't understand the shit.
It's the same. It's just when they say it, it's a term. It's just accumulation of traditional knowledge, right? So just so what it's not the same as modern science. You know what I mean? It's just it is a term that they use. Like even though you see, science has put a lot of things. Sweet science of baseball, the science of this. You know what I mean? So, but when they talk about African science, they talk about just traditional indigenous knowledge. So it's not going to fit the requirements of all the scientific steps within the scientific method. But that's fine, right? So, but you understand that when they say or they refer to as African science, you do understand that it lacks the rigor, right? In a lot of the steps to what we call science today. Do you agree with that?
Well, I would say that clearly when we're talking about places like Kemet, they would observe, but they didn't necessarily test to falsify in the way that we do today. I think that's a fair point.
Right, and we would call that would be proto, just based on what you said, and you stay right there. That's proto science. That's the beginning. That's the stage. So all that is a part of that continuity. So that's all we're saying.
Okay, I think that's a fair. Okay, I can accept that as being a fair statement, but I don't want to feel like people are discounting it because you put
that's you
that
doing
makes
it.
it illegit. No,
that's your mind. That's your mind doing that.
Okay, all right.
That's you doing that. That's y'all applying y'all bias to the situation. It actually is because nobody is saying that. Calling something for what it is calling something for what it is. Africans did not have jets. It's not a slur against Africans.
No,
Egypt did not build jets. How's that a slur? But how's that a slur?
I didn't say it's a slur.
Okay, then so if that's not a slur, if I call something proto-science, I'm clear. Proto-science, before science, proto.
Okay, I don't have.
Okay, but what comes before proto-science?
I just
because 100,000 years ago they didn't have proto-science at 100,000.
I'm not arguing with you. I just want to be clear on what you're saying.
No, you don't want to be clear.
No argument.
You up here playing with me. It actually is.
Why are you arguing with me? I said
because you're playing with me right now.
The brother made the point, and I said I understand his point.
No, you don't. I don't believe you. I don't trust you.
Okay, I do know, but I do understand.
So what comes before proto-science?
Bro, I said I understand.
No, I'm asking you another question. What comes before proto-science? I'm not arguing. I'm asking a question now.
Why are you making an argument? No argument.
I'm asking you a question. See how you ignore me? That means you playing. See?
Okay.
Yeah, that means you playing. Because I asked the question 3 times and you act like I ain't asked you that question. You playing with me.
Explain it to me then, because clearly I don't know.
I said, or just say you don't know what becomes before proto-science.
I don't know, so explain it to me.
TEK. Traditional, ecological knowledge. That's what it is.
Okay.
And they have empirical data that they transmitted for the next generation to the next generation. Traditional knowledge, bro. Hunter-gatherers all around the world. Okay. They had empirical data on plants. Man, we can't even do that. So what makes me think, what? Because I'm saying that, how's that marginalizing something I can't do myself?
Okay.
I'd be in trouble if a person say, look, bro, your life depends on this. I'm going to throw your ass in the ring for it, yo. And you got a month to collect them plants and tell me what plants do what. I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Right. And it'd be hard to do.
Okay.
In my lifetime, I couldn't even do it in my lifetime. See what I'm saying? I'm saying is y'all keep marginalizing every fucking conversation I have, yo. Every conversation I have, y'all will argue with me to the damn sun. Oh, this black, they said they were black. Like, yo, knock that shit the fuck off, man. This shit is getting on my nerves, yo. It's crazy to me. Like, nobody actually wants to learn. And then a nigga hate because it's coming from me, bro. It don't be you trying to learn. I'm just gonna hate against Ankh. Y'all tell me I ain't fucking hating.
Since when have I made any personal attacks and hate on you? I've never done that. I've never done that. Dude, you get up here. I've never done that.
Now, I don't know what you never done, but you done got up here with the whole wild black Egyptian
Right, but you never,
conversation.
you know,
As
but
if
you
I
never heard
hold on, bro.
attacks
Hold
on me.
on, bro.
I've never done that.
Hold on. No. I
Never
ain't
done
saying
that.
you did. I'm gonna tell you what you did. You got up here as if you understood what the hell you was talking about, and you argued me down for months on some simple comment. I simply said that nobody called themselves white people in the 1700s until white people said that. And then they made up black people. And you act like you couldn't understand that, bro. And you argue with me as if you did understand it. Yo, that shit gets tiring after a while, yo. That's what I'm saying. It's a cumulative effect at this point. You just the one catching it because you argue with me. But when you say something about the meta nature, I sit down and I listen to you. I don't argue about that shit like that if I don't know it.
Okay, Ankh.
Right, so I'm saying, why don't it go
I
both ways,
understand
though,
that.
yo? But why don't it go both ways? Why I gotta be the one to listen to what you say about the meta nature and learn from you? When it come to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm an idiot. I'm saying Egyptians
I
not
never
black.
called you
Nigga,
idiot,
this is
you know that.
you never said it, but you ran with a band of fools that said it, and you didn't correct them. Because I ain't gonna never let nobody say something about
How
you.
I gonna correct it? But I never said it. I'm catching straight. I
You
never
supposed
never
to
said
tell
that.
them, look, man, this man is simply making this point right here. Because that's how the community actually grows.
But that's
We
not
don't
fair to
grow.
me. I
No,
can't
I'm
control what the
saying,
man said. I never agreed
listen,
with that.
you
I
can't
never said
control
that.
nobody,
I
but
never
that's
insulted
never
anybody on this panel.
that's never hold on.
I
That's
don't
never
do that.
happening over here, yo. Nobody's
I
gonna let
don't
me
do
produce
that.
that. Nobody's gonna let
You have
me
no record
argue.
of me doing
Nobody, hold on, bro. Nobody's gonna let me argue bad information for a year straight, yo, without digging in me. I'm telling you, bro, it don't happen like that elsewhere. I'm telling you, bro.
Right.
It don't, but I'm the cult leader.
But I have never said
You
that.
but you sit there and you
I
hear
have
that wild
never
ass shit.
said that,
But
bro.
nigga,
I've
you don't
never-
fight that. You don't fight that. You don't. And I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying, bro. At this point, yo, it's just
Yes,
overwhelming,
but why-
bro.
Okay,
It's
listen, I
overwhelming.
understand. But I have never had a personal disagreement with you since we've been talking.
I ain't never said. You know what, yo? I never
I've never
said
done
we
that.
did. Listen, you get my frustration. You just happen to be the one to be here, yo. That fought with me for damn near 2 years over the Egyptians calling them they is black. How? Anachronistic. We act like we couldn't define words. It was always this wild thing. Well, you know they seen the black. Y'all did all of that, yo, to the point where I ain't even friends with the nigga no more. That's how crazy it is that I had to not even fuck with another black man because this nigga act like he fucking see now. Crazy as shit. So now the Egyptians can't be indigenous to the continent of Africa. That ain't enough for y'all niggas. They gotta be jet black with racialized big ass lips and big ass heads and about 2 foot tall because Europeans said it and then y'all agree with it. Yo, that shit get tiring, yo. And I'm saying, you know what, yo, if it was real life, yo, listen, if we was in real life, yo, we was on one of them corners somewhere, yo, I had to get rid of y'all niggas, man.
All right,
I would have to. It's crazy. You get it?
Can I talk now? Please?
Yeah, yo, I'm just frustrated, bro.
No. I mean, I understand.
You know what y'all niggas do? You know what y'all niggas do?
Wow.
Then y'all act like I'm the one making this up. Y'all act like that I'm the nigga that read 1 million books, that I created the scientific method, that I wrote all the science. Nigga, I ain't did none of that. I'm simply providing source material.
Okay. Can I
Let
respond?
me just get off my chest. Go ahead,
Can I
man. But
respond
don't say something that's gonna make me say you trying to scam me.
Before you say anything, let me say this. When we're looking and we're doing the hunter-gatherer thing, I think everybody skipped over the fact that prior to modern humans, anatomically modern humans, there was a migration out of Africa. Everybody forgets that when we are looking at tracking animals, hunter-gathering, producing fire, that was prior to modern humans. So it was activities all around the world. Why? Because we know humans dispersed around this world prior to the evolution of modern Homo sapiens sapiens. We are talking about Naptoplaya, but we exclude Göbekli Tepe. We look at the Ashango bone, but we forget that this same activity was taking place in Europe by hunter-gatherers. So again, this is human activity. This focus on Africa, it is weirding me out. I'm weirded out by this whole conversation. And again, if science is an evolutionary process, if it requires hunter-gatherers to do observation, to collect data, to pass on that knowledge, it is a foundation. If we say science is the building, it comes from a foundation being produced. Ankh said it, we cannot go into the forest and do any form of herbology. We don't know it. We can't do it. Why don't we respect that? Why do we need to quantify and classify that as chemistry and modern medicine? Why? Like, I don't get it. It makes no sense. It's all emotional jargon, and it's frustrating.
Oh man, go ahead, go ahead, Francis.
Listen, I am not one to make personal attacks, and I'm very sorry.
Man, I never said you did. No, you just the closest one for me to shoot at.
That's all right.
It's like being on the block. I can't get the nigga I want, yo, but you hang with him, so I get you. That's where I'm at.
Well, I guess that's fair enough, right? I had to take that one. I had to take that one for the team. Now, let me explain to you. I am not making the argument for black in ancient Kemet as a racialized term. I'm simply saying it was a physical description. Just as you're saying a big head, big breast, it was just a physical description. It didn't go into modern racial identity. It was just a physical description like anything else. Because race is a whole nother construct that deals with your skin color.
Suppose they was all light skinned, now what?
Say it again?
Suppose they was all my complexion, now what?
They would probably call you Desheret, which means light skinned black.
What, man?
It means red. It doesn't mean light skin. Red is red. Come on.
Right.
What? So,
is that all you want to say? Is that all you want to say?
Black.
I think Desheret has some dark connotations too, so be careful.
So Africoid,
I don't know that
black. These are all terms that make Africa homogeneous and doesn't allow for the story to be told. So when you say black, what are you saying? Melanesians are black. What does that mean? That's a black. Oh no, over there's another black. Oh no, in the middle over there, there's a black.
No,
if you look to the left, you're gonna see another black. Look to the right.
Man, let him finish that, man. I'm not going down that dog hole.
Yeah, we can't bully him. Let's not bully him.
Means light skin.
It's not cute.
From my understanding.
Okay, no problem.
But they both are designating black.
But what's your fight? What's your fight? But what's your fight though?
Comparison as far as people's skin color.
What's your fight? Because African Americans don't got shit to do with Northeast Africans. Whole different polity. What's up with that? Now I'm tired of playing with y'all. What's up with that? What about the polity your ancestors came from? We don't know, do we? No. So what's up with that?
I'm saying that they didn't exclude other Africans.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they hated other Africans. They did. They did. They fought the Libyans. They fought the Nubians. They did all that. They was different polities, different institutions. Yeah, everybody can get it. Asiatics can get it. Nubians can get it. Libyans can get it. Anybody but a damn Egyptian can
any
get
skin color bias in war in ancient Kemet. That's not what
I didn't say none of that. You heard what I said. I said anybody can get it. Nubians can get it.
Right, but that was
can get it. Asiatics can't get it. Asiatics got brown skin too, got light skin too. What's the point?
But there was never any war in ancient Kemet based on skin color.
There was no what? There was no what?
Never anyone ancient Kemet based on skin
color. They had colors. They didn't have no racial constructs.
We agree. There was no war based on skin.
Yo, we agree. Why would you say that? Why you saying that?
There was not.
But why are you saying that?
Because they had the Egyptians looking like.
No. Why is he? Can somebody tell me why he's saying that?
Because they fought people that look like themselves. They fought people that were their bigger brothers.
Okay. No. We agree. We agree with. He's asking why did you feel need to make that point?
Yeah. What's your point?
Yeah, some of them look like them, some of them look different. Everybody
don't
looks
have to worry about that. He's trying to figure out why he made a point.
He made a point about they fought other Africans. I said yes, they would have done that, but that doesn't mean they didn't see themselves as the same because they had a fight with somebody.
No, I don't think you understand what he was asking you. he was
Maybe-
I
saying
don't know
that,
how we get on Black Egypt.
yeah,
No,
he's
Ankh
pointing out-
mentioned it. That's why Ankh mentioned it.
I know. Hey,
yeah, he mentioned West. He was mentioning West Africa, correct? Which is a distance away. Now, I know we look at flat maps, and Africa looks significantly smaller than it is. And so, if that's the way your brain is framing it, it would seem that you can just cross a bridge to get from Egypt or Kemet over to, let's say, modern day Nigeria. But the reality is that is not how early humans migrated. They had to stay near water. So they would have gone south or north. Those would be the only two things. And then by the time they got to the West, they really didn't have enough chance to migrate back and sort of integrate, correct? So what he's asking you is the West Africans that clearly evolved differently, correct? That their genetic makeup, they were in isolation for a significant enough period. They were vastly different culturally. That has nothing to do with you as an African American who is more than likely to have derived or come from a West African lineage. So what we're trying to figure out is why the fascination with an East African culture and being completely enamored with it, which you can be. But it's even if they were the greatest scientists, by the way, they use like cow dung for like contraception, and the men wore makeup. You can start doing that too, but you know that that's insane. But let's assume for a second they were the greatest scientists ever to live. It isn't clear that anyone in West Africa was sharing that information between these two different locations on this huge continent. So how do you marry the fact that you are more than likely not descendants of what you perceive as the greatest brains ever to live, and the fact that you come from a vastly different group of people? How do you marry that point? And I think that's what we're struggling with.
Very simple.
Back to that.
Very simple, Grant. We're all African. That's it. It doesn't
That's
matter.
not how it works.
North or south.
That is not how it works.
You asked
That's
me
not
a
how it
question, and I answered your question. I said we're all African.
Africans do not consider themselves just African. You're making a claim that someone in Ethiopia sees a Nigerian and they go, "Hey, I'm an Ethiopian, and I'm just so extraordinarily happy that a Nigerian that has nothing to do with me as an Ethiopian."
Say that. I never said that.
But
and I
being
never said
on the same continent has nothing to do with each other.
Brother. I know that we are West African, and I have no problem with that. But
you
I'm
do.
not gonna. No, I don't.
You
I'm not
do.
gonna. No,
because you play verbal games.
Because to me, Kemet was the culmination
you're
of
going back to a place that you're not from. You're impressed by people that would never have been impressed by you.
I can claim all of it in my view, and you could disagree with that, but that's my view.
You have to agree that you want something more, correct? In essence, African Americans have a very difficult place in the world. We're brought here and we're trying to find a place. I totally get why we yearn for this identity.
Okay.
However, what you're doing is fundamentally dishonest. And there are a lot of amazing things that have come from the continent and from people who are directly related to you genetically that you can't be engaged with.
I don't have a problem with that, Grant. I don't
You
have
do.
a problem with that. You never heard me discount West Africa. You've never heard me say that. You're assuming.
No, but
that.
you're trying to. Here's the thing: you're playing mental gymnastics.
No, I'm doing what everyone. I'm doing what everyone does. They pick the best of their culture.
Get out of Egypt. We don't end up back in Egypt.
We out of
Egypt. All right, we out of Egypt.
We out of Egypt. We don't.
So why is Egypt the best of our culture? That's not true. See, that's another wild thing. It's just a classic.
That's the West African self-hate.
I'm okay with disagreement, but that's my view. I'm okay with you disagreeing, but that's my view.
Okay, but I'm saying the reason they study Egypt is because it's a classical civilization. Anyway, let's move forward.
Pottery and ironworking was important to civilization. That was in West Africa. Why did I don't get no heat?
I tell you what's interesting.
I just like Egypt.
All right,
that's fine. That's fine.
All right,
Shout out Egypt, man. Let's go.
So I made the comment. I forget what show it was on, and people say, "Well, you trying to say that we ain't have nothing?" I said, "Wait a minute." I said Europeans. I said they may have had intercontinental ships, right? But they had an inversion of soap because of their beliefs. Their beliefs literally told them that if they took hot baths, that their pores would open up and disease would come in. That's why they wanted layers of dirt on them and layered their clothes. It was their belief. The Mongols believed that water was pure and sacred and you couldn't take a bath in it. So they didn't wash up for years. But the Africans, when they found them, they had soap. They not only had soap, they had an understanding of violation. So which you want? You want the intercontinental ships or you want the soap? I'd rather have the soap. See what I'm saying? Both things serious, but I'd rather just have the soap. But y'all Negropeans don't understand that because y'all wild. Y'all too busy worried about the intercontinental. Wait a minute, nigga, we had soap. How important is soap? How important is the early craftsmanship on pottery? Now you can store your food and the insects ain't eating it up and the animals ain't smelling and eating it out. How important is that? No, y'all put emphasis on Egypt because y'all been whitewashed and white people love Egypt. See, they the first ones to go in there and excavate Egypt. Napoleon took a scientific expedition there. They say, man, this shit is older than our church. It's older than Christ. It's older than Adam and Eve. They couldn't even get geology right because geology was based off the flood. They couldn't get evolution right because they thought everybody popped up off the ground. And y'all acting just like they act. Just like that. So you talking about, you know what I heard today? Scientific racism. Y'all act like scientific racism was actually science. It wasn't. It was pseudoscience. I'm tired of y'all niggas get that wrong. So y'all keep getting that type shit wrong and want to talk to me. You ain't talk. I'm with you down, sir. Don't talk to me, nigga, not unless you know what's
How does it become you are and you never heard me make those statements?
I ain't talking to you now, yo. I'm on my soapbox. I'm not talking to you, Josh. I'm on my soapbox. Come on, man. Can I get on my
Hubert? I see you.
I ain't talking to you no more, Josh. I ain't talking to you more.
I see you, Hubert.
Now, I ain't gonna mess with you. Go ahead, Sosa.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't say. See, Europeans didn't take baths. You know what I'm saying? Because you did the broad stroke.
Yeah, that's not.
You just broad stroke all of Europe, right?
No,
that's what we talk about. We talk about the medieval times around the black page. Taboos popped up. They still washed their ass in basins. They just didn't engage in public baths. They changed their undergarment. They did it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
They did.
Let me get it right.
They did. And taboos did pop up.
Where's the black plague?
No, there is a king that didn't take a bath for a couple of years. Like, so yeah, those different taboos did pop up. They did. No, it did.
I don't mean all of Europe. I'm talking about like England.
That's the medieval.
The city of England. The city, they got written records there. They said it smelled crazy when they went there. They couldn't handle the smell.
Yeah, they have something, I think it's called like magma theory or malax. I can't remember.
Yeah, and everybody had worms. They walked around in the fog, yo. Seriously. But it wasn't because they was dirty, yo. It's because their belief system had them thinking that's how you caught disease, yo. It wasn't that they was bad people. Matter of fact, yo, they had to endure. They still endured that, yo. They endured their beliefs, yo. It wasn't that they just wanted to be dirty. See, that's not what I'm saying here. That's the continuity bullshit.
They thought that the heat opened up their pores.
Yes.
And through bathing and stuff like that. But you understood that they also took public baths. So they would be in there all in baths together to get, you know what I'm saying? And the baths is like a sex house.
That's probably wrong. That's the Romans. They didn't.
This is medieval. This is medieval Europe.
So one of the dirtiest queens of England, she literally was rotting alive. Because she would not bathe, and she would rub sugar on her teeth. So she literally rotted to death, right? And even when she took a bath, it was once maybe every 6 months to a year that she would take a bath, and then that would only be dapping the water on her body, so not full immersion and doing the 9 yards. So she eventually died from just rotting away.
But my point was, it was their belief.
Yeah,
right?
belief.
It's the belief.
They had a bad theory.
It wasn't that they wanted to be dirty and filthy. It's the exact opposite. Being dirty make you get sicker. But I bring this up to say, yo, what they did have with herbs, though, and did a good job with them herbs. See, y'all keep acting like the only hunter-gatherer or the only people who were renowned in herbs was just in that. No, you had herbs in Europe, plants. They had medicine, that type of medicine. All humans came up with that. It's not just an African thing. It's a human thing to study their ecology. You know what I mean? To create medicinal medicines and stuff like that. So I'm not even framing it like that. I'm just trying to get y'all to say it's 2026. Y'all Negro opinions can't be sounding like that. Not around me sticking you stick your chest out. Now, if you just sound like that and would have a coherent conversation and not calling me a hater, then I understand that. But to stick your chest out and be as vulnerable as y'all are, the bomb squad is a bunch of pseudos sticking their chests out. The nigga don't know what science is. None of them niggas do. They actually, and then gonna go in there and get bludgeoned by Chief X. And I can't stand him. How you gonna let Chief X gonna beat you up?
Gonna beat the brakes off that boy.
Gonna beat the brakes off.
Chief
X? I can't hear him, bro. He gonna be, bro. Oh, man.
You think Stunnetta's playing though? Like you think that when he said that, what do you mean they don't have signs? You think he understands? Or you think he really understands something? He's saying that because he understands. No, he don't. Like you talking to people, like you can't convince somebody that they're wrong if they don't know enough to know that they're wrong, bro. So,
yeah, but you can't stick your chest out then play with the
yes, you can when you ignorant like that. You do it all
not around me, yo. Then I
argue with the ignorant person all day. I had to walk away from him. In my homeboy.
Did you?
I got like, man, gone, man.
That's how I had to do something the other day, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, something that homeboy, man. You gotta get. Hey, bro, go ahead, bro. Go on with that, bro. Go.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But go ahead, Grant. You want to add something, Grant? And then I'm gonna let Francis go. Francis, I want to talk to you. I'm off.
Francis caught the
spray. I just had to give somebody, Francis.
Apologize, Francis.
Yeah, you're definitely on one today, which is awesome. I think ultimately we need to start having adult conversations with people who have childish minds. Mm-hmm. And I do think part of the fascination, you're talking about, Europe and Africa broadly, but they never bring up the Chinese and what was happening in China during the Dark Ages. They were a fully literate empire, but in essence, they're so ready to say white science, don't realize that they're working off white social studies, and that their brains have been fundamentally altered in how they see the world, and so they have to see things through black and white. That is the only way that they can sort of justify their existence. And I think you're hitting on something that is important. Many people are thinking through the world of this sort of, you conquer, therefore you're strong. And if you enamored with whiteness, because people who think that they're pro-black are often actually just pro-white, and they just shade it black. In essence, the same racialized sort of ethno-states that they hate, they most certainly support. As a matter of fact, they're just useful idiots to white supremacy in ways that they just don't recognize. And what makes it even more extraordinarily kind of difficult to deal with is when you're trying to explain to people, like, you're enamored with people who no longer exist. Modern science requires you to understand modern problems. Mm-hmm. And if you think building pyramids today is the best use of human brains, you clearly are not a thinking person. And by the way, you can be impressed by it. But even thinking about how unimpressive pyramids are, I mean, they were so smart that they were like, let's build massive things for someone who's dead. I mean, how unscientific can you be to think that that is useful for humans? And clearly we know it wasn't. And that's a clear problem with how we are thinking about these things. And I think I also would say that if you're this enamored with the past, or in essence saying, because other people were smart, therefore you're smart, or you're a scientist because people who happen to share melanin with you once did math and science, or what you perceive as science, that somehow that is conveyed to you. It isn't. Science does not pass to you genetically. In essence, you have to have a culture of understanding and having a culture of seeking thought and seeking science. And one of the things I think is important to recognize, as much as we talk about how white people are ahead, they're actually far behind, because white supremacy actually suppresses their ability to learn themselves. If you look at the white population here in the United States, the vast majority of them are actually truly not smart. And you look at the distribution of things like SAT scores, what you find out is the top end of smart people happen to be in groups that have a social strata that allows for them to go to schools and be within a social structure that allows for them to learn. Whereas people at the bottom who are like, well, I'm from America and freedom gave me a brain. Those people actually can't read. And we know this from the data. And so when African Americans engage in that similar way of thinking, you're cutting yourself off from the ability to start thinking through real problems. And I think one of the other problems that we're having is the Europeans who brought us our religiosity and our religions have largely cast them off. The Europeans and everyone else who showed up to the shores and said, hey, I have this wonderful Jesus Christ. You've never heard of him. Throw away your wicked ways and come with me with Jesus. He's blonde hair and blue-eyed. Isn't he so sweet? And they brought us to this wonderful country. And what they've done is left us with this brain hemorrhage, correct? This thing that doesn't allow for us to move past Bronze Age mythology.
Yeah, what's up? I'm
all
live,
of us
man.
are
What's up?
holding on to these things while hoping that one day
Sorry, Grant.
Yeah, bro.
Let me bring up. We can hear you.
Oh, you good?
We can hear you.
I'm trying to mute out. Hold on, you live. You coming through live, nigga. You ain't beating nobody.
So I could respond to
Can
what
Grant
you
finish? Can Grant finish? Finish, Grant.
Yeah. So what I think is one of the things we have to think about going forward is how do we begin to have these conversations about what is stifling us from being able to think in this modern time? And how do we ensure that people, us in particular, are really tossing away these sort of ideologies that will continue to be harmful? I mean, the Chinese knew that they were behind. And when I was born, the Chinese were just a third-rate country, and we all knew that. But they made an effort to reteach their people to read and engage in modern science. And I think we as African Americans or Black Americans need to take that as a lesson on what modern world needs if we wanted to get ahead.
Facts.
Jose, go ahead, man.
Right, I hear what he's saying, but I think sometimes people don't realize how much ancient Kemet contributed, and it's contributed to modern Western society.
It did, okay.
And Greek and Romans and all of them say the same thing.
It did.
So why should I now throw it away? I never told that man
He didn't say throw it away.
I never told that man I wanted to build no pyramids. But I understand.
Wait a minute.
Let him get it out. No, I never told him that I wanted to build pyramids, but I see the value.
Get out of Egypt, please. Go ahead.
It had value to them. I'm not saying we should build pyramids. I'm saying we should take that knowledge that's useful and use it. They have plenty of wisdom texts and other texts that we can still read to use that makes sense.
What?
So why should I discount it because it's thousands of years old?
You said
you think we need to go get some scrolls? You think we need to pull up some more Egyptian scrolls? Power through them.
We need to build more schools.
And they're gonna help us now in 2020, man.
Up them pyramids.
Of course.
No, I never said building pyramids. I said there's wisdom
bro.
that we can read that still apply today.
You got me on that one, Francis. I can't even argue. You got me, bro. You got me.
And that's what you. If you disagree, that's cool.
Yeah, obviously I disagree, but hey, if that's where you at with it, hey, good luck on finding them scrolls. You got to get in them digs. It's gonna take years to scour to them brittle chapters.
No, they have a text corpus for that, and that is what I read.
So I find it problematic because y'all talk about African science, African this and that. When y'all gonna go over to Africa and help build some schools? That's really
I would love to. I would
education. I'm a finish. You would love to, but you haven't gone over there and done it yet. But y'all so African-centered, African-minded, Pan-African, and y'all ain't done a damn thing for Africa. It's funny because you know what the problem is? Lack of schools. They have the biggest youth population, and it's going to continue to boom for the next 20 years. And those youth don't have economies for jobs. Ways to make money and lack of education. That's the biggest problem in Africa right now. So if y'all really want to be African-centered, African-minded, do for Africa, go over there and build some schools. Teach them some trades where they can be self-sufficient. Go over there and take them some scientific literacy and technology. That's what Africa needs right now.
Yeah, in terms of the demography too, the birth rate in Africa is cataclysmic. I think the average is 5 to 6, where that's why you have people out there doing birth control. It needs to get down to 2.5, 3. Like there's too many young. I think China's starting to face it too. When you have a whole bunch of elderly people, and then you have a whole bunch of young kids, and then you don't have them that middle branch. Because that's going to be your teachers. You know, and so yeah, they're in like a crisis state in terms of demography right now. So
they are. I want to say one thing real quick. The pyramids weren't aligned by Orion's belt. They're aligned by the cardinal directions. Stop repeating that. Just go look it up. Okay? God,
I didn't even say that.
Nobody on the panel did.
You're talking in the chat. Jose,
Sanetter said it too. Sanetter said it today. So I'm not talking to you.
Sanetter said open heart. They did open heart surgery. Like Sanetter.
Yeah, he did.
Rapid.
Sanetter. They also picked the brain through the nose.
They did open heart surgery. I'm like,
come on, and they did all. Did they have anesthesia? I think sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. And they also told
probably a
women
rudimentary format. I mean, 100 gals got that.
Marijuana for birth control. I don't know. Like everything ain't working.
They did do the was a cow dung or the foot for you. They did rub that on the.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, it supposedly actually has some type of. No, it's weird. It's
yeah,
weird.
I think it was a thing about if they piss on one thing or another can tell them it's a girl or a boy.
I think it was weed. I think it was weed or some kind of grain.
Yeah, and that actually was found to be.
Yeah.
Reputable.
And Francis, how can we take that cow dung contraceptive theory, pull that to 2026 and shape that to push our scientific mind further?
I don't want no cow dung near me.
I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to tell you, Sosa. I've read some things in some medical papyri that I think I wouldn't try.
Yeah, of course.
Tell us. I would love to hear this.
I'm not saying.
They said he wouldn't try.
Yeah,
but if they had a dynastic system that lasted 3,000 years, they clearly did something right somewhere. They didn't just fall apart immediately.
Largely because they ain't that the competition was way smaller back then. Once they reach civilization, they don't got. They pretty much.
But you can't name another one that lasted that long.
But Jose, here's
what you wouldn't do. I'm more interested in that.
No, I'm just saying I read a lot of things in these medical papyri that I might think is crazy, but
it is
somehow it works for them.
Tell us one. Entertain us.
I've never tried it.
Entertain us.
No, and why haven't you tried it?
He won't tell us.
You know why you haven't tried it? It's because modern science completely allows for you to know what is bullshit and what is reasonably within a range of science. Of course it does, because if you were back then,
we know they got things right.
Because if you were back then, you would believe it, correct? Because you would have no other mechanism to know the difference.
We know what they got right, and we know what they got wrong now.
Because of modern science, you really got to open your ears and understand exactly what you're saying. That you are reading old text, and you now have new knowledge that helps you delineate between what is absolute nonsense and what is somewhat in the range of modern science.
I said there are some wisdom texts in ancient Kemet that do apply.
And the other stuff is not useful. But how do you know it's not useful today?
Of course.
How do you know it's not useful today? Answer the question.
You would know what's not
useful. You know it because of modern knowledge.
I don't have a problem.
You gonna give up the urgent care for them ancient texts? Yes or no?
Yes or no?
So aren't you aware that in ancient Kemet
you gonna answer the question?
Have text talking about
question. You gonna give up urgent care for them ancient texts? Yes or no?
Would I?
Would you? You gonna give up ancient?
Are you really
urgent
asking me that question right now?
Will you give up urgent care?
Are you really asking me that question?
For the ancient texts? Would you give it up for your child from ancient texts?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with modern medicine. That's not my issue. I never said that.
Yes or no? Ancient text, urgent care for your child or yourself. Ancient
Are
text.
You really asking me that question?
Yeah, she's really asking the question.
You should know the answer to that question.
I don't. I don't
have a problem with modern. I don't have a problem.
No. Ancient
I don't have a problem with modern
medicine. Say yes or no, Francis.
I don't have a problem with modern medicine. No.
So listen. So give me. You was about to say something about a text. What was that text?
I go to the hospital all the time.
No, you was about to say something about that text. Go ahead. What were you saying?
They do show you that people in ancient Kemet did know about treating head wounds and trauma. They weren't totally. Let's just pray about everything. No.
And you think we need that?
Treat your next head wound with that ancient text.
Do you think we need that now?
You go ahead and use that. Matter of fact, please use it,
So why
because in
doesn't it
essence,
apply? Why
you should use it, because in essence, you won't live, and that's fine. But I think you have to.
Have you read the text to know that? Have you read the text?
I don't need to read the text to know that I'm not going to use that text to
it was
put
a
that
crude form.
Well, if you never read the text, then you
don't need to
know what was in the text.
No, listen, it was like a crude form of what they would crack a hole, like a small hole in the head to release the pressure from the brain swelling. But I'm saying
were
you
they
don't
wrong?
need that. What did they do?
Were they wrong?
Do you think that humans were not trying?
Don't they still don't doctors drill holes in your head to release pressure today?
I'm not saying that they didn't have
ice and bring your body temperature down and try to reduce the inflammation.
So they don't drill holes in your head anymore to release pressure?
Yeah, I'm not saying that they didn't have good reason doing it. It's a good try for back then. But I'm saying, how is that going to help us now?
So people in modern medicine don't drill holes in people's heads anymore?
I'm saying, how does that help us now, though?
Don't they still do that? Haven't they done that in modern times?
We've long past that.
We also eat food in modern times too. It's not like we don't share common things with our ancestors. I mean, you make it. We put clothes on, we put shoes on, we brush our teeth. I mean, you really
were they wrong for doing that?
Like, no one is saying that they didn't do things.
No.
What we're trying to figure out is why
they weren't wrong.
That you somehow are reading text that is useful today, when we already know the things that have been useful we are using to whatever extent that humans have passed on those traditions. But today, modern science is vastly different and works off a completely different model that has proven time and time again to be useful for us living the lives that we live today.
There's no disagreement with that, because we know we have things that they didn't have.
Let me answer the question.
They still have the ability to observe nature and be able to understand nature, at least from an eyeball. Totally ridiculous.
Let me answer the question to that. If your brain swelling, do they remove your skull? In extreme cases, they will move parts of it, but they don't want to do that right now because of bone fragments, and that's your brain area, and it can cause a pulmonary embolism. So now they use medication or try to cool you down, reduce the inflammation, use other drugs. That's not a first resort, though. That's why we have modern medicine, because we have better options.
I have no problem with
those
that.
Points. So
My
question.
But there was a point where they in modern medicine where they used to do that.
We have better.
It's the best that they can do. It was the best that they can do at that time.
Yes.
All right.
And those would be
all right.
That's all.
And in most cases, that would be very risky, because now you have an open brain that's susceptible to bacteria and germs, and that's just not ever a good thing. And you know this. So
I understand.
So hold on, Joe. Let me say this. Let me see if you learned things.
But I don't understand what they got right.
Hold on for a minute. Let me ask you this: is there such thing as African science?
I'm gonna maintain yes, there is.
Right. So why even come up here, yo? This is a learning environment. You can't even find a source that says that. So let me tell you what you mean when you say African science, because I knew you was gonna say it. When you say African science, you're really talking about traditional knowledge. Am I correct in that? No. Am I correct in that?
No.
Okay. So then you're not talking about, hold on, wait a minute. To have science that we're talking about, you have to have the scientific method. So are you saying African science uses the scientific method?
Not to the extent that we do. No.
Okay, so then it's not.
It did not to falsify results.
No.
Can I say this?
Hold on, let me finish you, Jude. So then you don't mean science then. You mean proto-science or TEK, traditional ecological knowledge.
So it's not proto-science?
No. You got indigenous knowledge predate pre-science, right? I said 100,000 years. They transmitted information about plants, right?
Okay.
That's all they had, right? They had data. They had empirical knowledge. That's not okay, but that still don't make it science. Then you had proto-science. We talked about 3000 BCE, right? Where you got the Egyptians. They create these medical papyri, right?
Yes.
And one of them, think about what you're trying to say. You got a 4,000 year history of Nile Valley.
Yes.
You got one medical papyri that they found, right? That is for the first time in human history, right? But now they don't appear to mix up their religion with it. But on the back of that, bro, you got spells. And then you look at the rest of the medical papyrus from that time, they got all kind of magical spells. That's not science neither. That's proto-science, right? Okay, do you get that? You're going to mix your religion in it with it. That's proto-science, right? It's not all the way up to modern times where you start to separate. Hold on. You start to separate your religion from your science. This is during the golden age where they make their serious attempt to do it. They don't complete this until modern times, bro, because we have believing brains from the Stone Age. The fundamental difference between proto-science and science is the scientific method, and you have to completely devoid your belief system from it. So are you saying that African science devoided their cultural container, religious, spiritual systems from their technical information? Yes or no, bro? And don't talk me to death. Answer that question.
No.
So if they didn't do it, then here's your learning for the day. Then it's not actually science that we're talking about. You should have learned something. Now, if you have not learned something, you playing in my face again, yo.
I'll say this.
It requires that paradigm shift.
Hold on, Juju is next.
I'm not going to fully discount the term African science.
You have to discount it. Because it does not exist.
You can use it, but it has to be used in the context that it's actually meant to be. It's not meant to be science. You know how we say like that, like it ain't meant to be science. You get it? It's science, but it ain't science. You feel me, my G? That's what we're saying.
Okay. I will give you half a point for that. I don't want to totally agree. I just don't want to totally agree with you. I just don't want to give I just feel like fighting today. I just feel like fighting a little bit. I'll give you half.
We see you, Francis.
Francis, you know what, Francis, man? Let me show some empathy for you, man. You actually think that if you was to give that up, then all of a sudden you going against your ancestors. But the truth is, right now you're going against your ancestors because they be like, nigga, our spiritual system is involved in that. Why you want to change my thing?
No, I never said that they did not mix the two. They definitely did.
So we cannot call it modern science. It's proto.
I didn't say modern science. No.
What science did you talk about? You got
not modern science.
Did you see the beginning of the show? Did you see the beginning of the show?
No, but I can't. I guess I didn't.
Did you mention that
I guess I didn't hit the beginning of the show.
Had spells on the back? Did you mention that, Ankh?
Yeah.
Listen, I never said they didn't. I never said they
magic on the back of it.
I didn't say it didn't have what you call spells. I don't use the word spells. I use
words. It was
you gotta use it. What you call it? What you call it?
That's what it was.
Hecka.
It was. It's magic. Hecka is magic, man.
No, it doesn't. It means words of power. It does not mean
it's magic, man. Words of power.
So we don't speak Kemet, man. We don't speak Kemet, so we gotta translate the magic, bro.
No, it doesn't really mean magic in that.
Rashid, I bet you won't hit
more
that
like prayer.
So
I'll accept the word prayer, but not magic.
So Francis, what type of methodology did ancient Egyptians or Kemet use?
I agree. I said they just use simple observation of nature.
Yeah, he's already reading the proto-science.
They did not seek to falsify as we do. They didn't do that.
What was their method called?
I call it simple observation. They observed nature and took
You
nature.
gotta do more studying.
And
it's already agreed as proto.
No. That's what I was getting at. It is proto, but they still had a method within that proto, and it was called Tep Hesed. You should go look at that. You have a stronger argument, but it's still.
I might have learned something new today.
Tep Hesed means.
You did learn something new today. Ain't nothing wrong with learning something new, man. Let me show you.
And I accept what Juju said because she actually went into the language.
Tep Hesed means.
You went to what language?
Correct method.
Is it? Oh yes, of course, yes.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Matt.
mean it was a scientific method, though. So don't
Yes,
run
they
with
do
that.
have. Of course, they have terminologies for correct method. Of
You
course.
know, supposed to know that.
Yeah, but hold on. So you see this right here. This ain't even hard to figure this out, yo. Here you go. Indigenous knowledge. Or let's say African science. That's 100,000 to 3,000 BCE. It's a early practical knowledge, astronomical observations, and agricultural calendars across diverse cultures. Well, I'm saying we can't do that right now. Proto scientific traditions. 3,000 BCE. You who studied Kemet, 3,000 BCE supposed to mean something to you. Now, to 500, look, all the way to 500 CE, yo. That's how long it's taken, right? Nobody talks about the 500 CE. Look, emergence of structured diagnosis, astronomical predictions, and rational explanations in early civilizations. See? Classical scientific, look, expansion, 500 to 1500 CE. We still ain't, look, Islamic Golden Age, translated and preserved and advanced knowledge in optics, algebra, and medicine. What the hell did they translate? They translated ancient texts. See that? Why was this Islamic Golden Age so important? Because the Muslims, specifically at the House of Wisdom, these cats, they was artisans. And you know what an artisan can do? They can make tools real good. Prior to that, they was like laughing at you. What you supposed to be doing? We're not making no tools. No, they incorporated the tools. Now, why are the tools important? Because now they're incorporating tools, right, into their classical scientific ideas. Guess what they are eliminating? They're starting to eliminate our senses. Remember, science doesn't start to mature until we all together get rid of our senses and put a tool in place, right? Or at least have a tool to help your damn senses. Remember, your senses are not good for science. So they start this right here. Watch this. Scientific revolution, 1500 to 1700 CE. Systematic empirical investigation, experimentation, and mathematical laws define a new era of discovery. See, y'all want to stay right here. Y'all want to forget about everything I just said prior to that. You act like it started here. It didn't. It started all the way back at your favorite word, African science. Modern science till present. Now, back then, in your African science, 100,000, they didn't have institutionalization of science, development of new fields of global. They couldn't have been global because they didn't have the tools to go global. Collaboration, they couldn't contact. Hey, let me call the ancient Mayans. Hey, yo, what y'all got today? They didn't have that. Global collaboration and peer review. They ain't had none of that. See? That's what I'm trying to say.
Bobby Banger. Debate music in this bitch. House music in this bitch. Bobby Banger. Debate music in this bitch. Pseudo. Always dies at the source. Pseudo. Always dies at the source.
I'm gonna spare y'all. Anyway, that's what it is, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. We just take our time, yo, and digest that and learn something tonight. Simple as that, bro. Niggas just be wrong.
So what I feel like I understand.
So just a second. Let me.
No. Let them say what they understand. Hold on. You understand what?
I said I'm feeling like I'm understanding right now for the pro African, for everybody to take their frustration out on because the rest of them is not here right now. And I was the only one brave enough to come in.
You got, but you the only one going.
Yep, Francis.
The reason I didn't come in here, I wasn't no punk.
Hey, Francis, how many times that I had to tell you that the reason I was able to catch on because I had heart. I was willing to relinquish everything I thought I understood, bro. See that? Go ahead, Cedric.
I just wanted to add.
I see you about to pass out.
The slides you just was. I just want to remember before I move past that point. Everything you were showing there are human endeavors. It is not centered and strict to African continent. At this point in history, humans have dispersed all over this planet. You are seeing these astronomical developments all around the world. This is human endeavor, human activities. There is no there first. We are seeing that the Neanderthals controlled fire. They knew how to hunt. That means they tracked animals. Again, human endeavor. It is our natural ability to observe, to chronologize, to document. This was fundamental in human nature to get to where we are today. And I think Ashe brought that point home again. Human endeavor. Science is a
Ashe, not Ashe. Ashe didn't bring that
no,
up.
King
sorry. King
J.
J. My bad,
Yeah,
King J.
Ashe fell apart and died.
Yeah, he was, yeah. King J did an excellent job. Human endeavor. Again, gravity, the calculation for gravity is equal wherever you apply that calculation. Water is going to be H2O all over the world, whether you speak Chinese, Russian, or whichever African dialect. Once we see that H2O, we all speaking a universal language called science. It is not endemic to any particular group, culture, or people. Human endeavor.
So y'all see that word? It say you say ain't proto science. No, the word the proto puts it. Go. You want to say something, Sosa?
No, we'll get to some a semantical argument because you're gonna say, well, science is in proto science and it had to be science. You know what I'm saying? It is be.
But the word proto puts it in its proper position though. Before science. That's what it means. The prefix says proto before science, like proto language, right? Before the language. See that? See, man, we gotta understand language. It's a lot of stuff going on here, bro. I swear to goodness it is. What's the prefix, yo?
You know, it'd be funny to me though when they be saying like, we was on the continent, 100,000 years doing this and that, and I be thinking like, they act as if those are the answers of European. That's everybody, grandmama.
Yeah,
we left it. That's the Chinese people, grandmama.
Everybody.
They act like Africans walked out of Africa, and then boom, a whole new species popped up called Europeans. And these Europeans, that's what we took me out.
Nah, man. Anthony, you want to add something to that, Anthony?
Nah, man, it's just comical, man. Just like I was saying earlier, we have to keep it in its proper context. Proto has a definitive meaning. You know what I'm saying? It's there for a reason in the phrase. It's if they were doing science, they wouldn't need the word proto in front of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. We just have to keep it in its proper context, and that's what's from my perspective. That's what's not happening. I understand. They took a lot from us in slavery, but this ain't the way to get it back. You know what I'm saying? The way to get it back is to continue to recognize those African Americans and Africans or whoever, their contributions to what we have today. You know what I'm saying? You messed me up saying that there's some ancient texts that we, can use today. I don't know about that.
Okay, so
but
here's what I'll do.
The fact of the matter is, we have to keep it in its proper context. So, proto-science is not science, it's proto-science. Yeah, they are beginning to get to a certain point. And that level, we needed We needed that to get to where we are today. So let's stop embellishing on the ancients. You know, they did what they needed to do to survive. And yes, they were observing, and then they were, you know, learning, you know, and it took time to get to where we are today. But the fact of the matter is that's the foundation. So let's treat it as such. You know, that's just where I stand on that, man.
So would you like me to name some texts that I think we could use? Would you like me to come on?
I'm not interested.
No, we want to
Black
get a
Agent
Grant.
Red over here. Except for
I'm not interested.
They want to let Grant get in. We want to get Grant get in. He got something to add to the discussion, Grant.
No, you guys said it all. It's just, I mean, I think I commend you, Francis, for sticking in there, but I think you should really take like sit through and sort of work through the calculus of what you believe and sort of try to figure out like if really holding on to it is worth it. And and I think part of it is
brutal.
What are you gaining from it? You know, you're holding on to text that you are fundamentally capable of knowing the difference between what was, you know, useful and what's not. And that's because you have modern education that has given you a greater sense of the world around you. And just like your kids and your grandkids are going to be able to pick out all the BS that you're saying today as well, because the kids are going to be able to know the things that we got wrong. And we definitely know we're much more advanced than the humans that came before us. And that's just going to keep going in almost perpetuity, or at least until this, you know, until our sun explodes. And I think it's important to keep that in the back of your mind that says, we definitely want to know that we have a history, and that's important, that we didn't come from people that didn't know. We most certainly did. And by the way, us existing and the things that we are doing today is proof that we're both capable and have always been capable. And I think one of the things that's hard is that we had been, for a long time, been told that we did not provide anything to science and did not provide anything to the world. And we know that is fundamentally a lie. But packing a lie on top of a lie does not change that lie. It further actually entrenches the lie you're trying to undermine. Because in essence, the person who calls you a fool for not knowing anything will pick this thing apart and say, see, they actually don't know what they're talking about. In essence, you're doing all the homework for them. And in essence, being more scientific undermines those who think that we aren't scientific. For those that says that we have not given to, whether it be ancient proto-science, into the ancient world, into the modern world. We've given a lot, and I expect us, correct, to do more, but you cannot do more basing your modern understanding of the world on text that you most certainly don't understand. And we fundamentally understand that most of it is highly unusable for us in a modern world. And I would just, I beg of you, for all things Black and amazing, and for hip hop and for everything, please find and read science. Understand that it is the thing that changes the trajectories of people. And the more that we dampen the desire to learn, and we dampen the desire to stare up into the sky and want for discovery, we harden the ability for us to move past these shackles we have today. And so I most certainly think that you are yearning for knowledge, and I'm not saying you're not. What I'm saying is that you have a panel of people and a community of people who are trying to underpin what you're trying to get to, and it would behoove you and many others who jump in and out of the chat that if you take 1 second and just look on the world, just remove black and white from all of it, and just anonymize an idea of what you think it looks like for the future. And just think, if you believe that creating a world on what you perceive as a ancient text is the best way forward, and then you look on the rest of the world and no one else is doing it, and you're seeing the achievements, you should at least be skeptical that you know what you're doing and the rest of the world is somehow on a wrong path. And if I grant you this one thing, that you have undermined all of science through an ancient text, we're here for you, correct? We will give you each $1,000 to start an institution, and it is highly likely that I am going to.
For fact, Grant.
I'll say now. I'll say this. I've been on worse panels, so I understand what you're saying, but I'm not saying I'm rejecting modern science.
Yeah.
I just want to live in the past and just read ancient texts and meditate. You never heard me say that.
All right, I got a test for you. I got a test for you, Josh.
I'm not giving it up. So
don't give it up. All right, I got a question for you.
That sounds very religious.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
It may be.
Hold on for a minute. Got a question for you. Can you see the screen here?
Yes.
You sure, right? So A and B, are A and B separate colors? Can you see it?
Of course.
Right. Okay. That's why you gotta listen to us.
Wait. Are A and B separate colors? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's A and B. What color? What color is A? What color is B?
I think they're both gray. If I'm seeing correct, or am I not seeing correct? Both of them
A and B.
Yeah, both of them look great to me.
Which is darker? Which is light?
A might be a bit of a looks like a darker gray than B.
Okay. Is he colorblind? You colorblind?
No, the letters are the letters are two different shades of gray, not the boxes. The letters.
Okay, what about the boxes?
One is on a white box and one is on a gray box.
Okay, that's your final answer. Now, this is why you gotta listen to us. They the same exact color, yo. And I'm saying, so now
they're gonna appear that way to me, honestly. They really don't.
He's
okay.
And I'm not trying to be funny. They really don't appear the same to me. And I'm not trying to be funny.
Let him get to the end.
You said they really don't appear to be the same, but they are. I know. I'm saying everybody looking at this can see A is darker than B. The B square. The B square definitely appears to be lighter, and the A square appears to be darker, yo.
I'm not talking about the square. I'm talking about the letters themselves.
I ain't talking about the letters. I'm talking about the squares.
Yeah,
the square. The square.
Oh, one square is gray and one square is white.
Okay, and I'm saying no, it's not.
Golly.
Look, here you go. Majority gave the same damn color. Look.
Well, all right.
See that? Right. So I'm just trying to tell you that. Look, see?
All right, okay.
Right, that's why your eyes. I'm saying all that shit we do. It's a monkey. It's a monkey. We don't know what the hell we be talking about.
I'm not
trying to make a point for the audience. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, yo, there's a reason that modern science took off the way it did.
Tools, yeah.
It uses tools, bro. Because your eyes.
I don't have a problem with modern science.
I'm not saying you do, but you won't admit it. You do.
No, I don't.
If you didn't have a problem, you wouldn't say African science. You would say anytime you use the word science, you would understand it's a human endeavor, yo. Okay, why do we watch this? Why do we say that modern science and science is a human endeavor? Do you know why we say that? If you can explain that, yo, then you pass the test.
I know it.
Green is black.
I know exactly why you say that.
Why I say it? Let me hear it.
Because when you look into the field of science, they have people of all races, creeds, colors who contribute. That's not my problem.
No, nigga, that ain't what.
No.
Let me try again.
Your 5 senses.
Good night, y'all.
How hard was that? The limitation of your 5 senses. The graph clearly showing you the same color, and as the other colors are added, what happens is your perception changes. So our eyes are lying to us. That's why we need tools. That's why we don't rely on our 5 senses. You didn't get that? Come on, man.
You disagreed with that. I never disagreed with that, Cedric.
Yeah. I asked the new question I asked him, Cedric, was I asked him. I said,
I never disagreed with that. Clearly, eyes don't see everything. I know that.
I know. Okay, so then why do I say science is a human endeavor, yo?
I explained to you.
Wow. Now, human endeavor, not African endeavor, human endeavor. Why did I say that? Why do we say that? Because that if you answer it correctly, you're going to defeat everything you were saying about
listen,
African.
I'm going to say this again. I'm still going to use the term African science, and I'm still going to get beat up every time I come.
No. Answer the question though, because your question. If you answer the question correctly, it's going to defeat your African science. we go. Why do we say science is a human endeavor?
Because when you deal with science, science is supposed to be objective. It's not
Nope,
supposed to be.
nope. Try again. You say because different people practice science, different races. That ain't the answer, neither. I'm gonna give you one more chance.
Well, I guess I don't know the answer, so go ahead.
Okay, the answer is.
I'm making it to the correct answer in air quotes.
Yes, listen to this. Listen to this. This answer will defeat your African science. We say science is a human endeavor because most of the world, most of the earth inhabitants participated in the creation of it. And that's what makes it so powerful. The reason religion ain't as powerful because everybody had these separate little things. It don't never match up ever. They wasn't everybody had their different beliefs, different stuff. But science, people added to it. You see how the scientific method was built. It go from Africa all the way to Europe, to China, to India. They all add to it. The Muslims from Arabia, they all add to it, yo. You know what I'm saying? They build upon it, and then it explodes, and they get there. Because it's a human endeavor, not just an African endeavor. It's a human endeavor. That's why it's so powerful, because the variation of different thought come together, bro. That's what make it powerful. Where it's not because you got this in Africa make you better. Nah, that ain't what makes science powerful. Science is powerful because you got Europeans adding to it. You got Arabs adding to it. You got Persians. You got India, all that, Africa, all that. It's the human mind, bro. Diversity. That's why we say it's a human endeavor, bro. And when you say African science, now you put it in the little ass box, and there you have it. See the difference, y'all? You get that? There you go, bro.
I see your point, but I'm still going to African science until I die.
Right, and why would you double down on something like
just
that?
Leave him where he is. Just leave him where he is. Like, you can't.
No, I get it, but I'm saying, but why
the water?
I understand what you're saying, I love everybody on the panel, and I appreciate.
I mean, but why would you do? I'm trying. Okay, do this for me.
That's my personal preference.
No. No, I can't let that go. I want to know what's your I just want to know why you think like that.
You want me to tell you why? Because a lot of because when you look at the world today, all of these people, these Europeans who we think are great, say that they went to Africa to learn. The Greeks, these people who they think are great, say they went to Africa and they learned. They tell you that.
Did Isaac Newton go to Africa to learn?
No, but his prized Greek ancestors who he loves did.
He lying now.
All people are
the Greeks said that.
Hey, yo, the Greeks don't say that. You made that up. Don't make me go to pit. Nah.
They imitated Kemetic culture.
Nah, you made that up, yo. You can't prove that. You made that up. I'm tired of hearing that shit. I'll debate you on that.
What do you mean I can't prove it?
That's never show. Yeah, get your maturity together. I'm gonna beat you up.
You've never seen them dress up in rule?
I said, get your maturity together. I'm gonna beat you up on that. Wow.
You've never heard them say that?
It's a wild statement, yo.
You've never heard the Greeks say that?
That's a wild. Most of the Greeks you think traveled to Egypt never even traveled to Egypt to even get what you think they had.
So that doesn't mean they didn't learn.
If they had to travel to Egypt to get it, then it would be in Egypt. It wouldn't be there. You understand?
Greeks eventually reached Egypt, didn't they? They had interactions with Egypt. They had stories about them having interaction with Egyptians and different people.
Man, you gotta stop this, man.
They have text
now what you doing is so yeah, you definitely tripping. You definitely tripping.
No, they have text where they talk about it.
Man, the Greeks don't learn every. So basically, you saying.
So you don't know
proximity. Hold on. Proximity. Hold on. Proximity. So you saying the hell with all the other people that they closer to? They got to run all the way to Egypt. Think about the time periods they went to Egypt. Hold on, I got you. They went to Egypt when the indigenous people wasn't even in power. You think we can't count or something, yo? See, you sitting here thinking you dealing with a group of people that can't even count dates. That's the problem with you, bro. Like you slow.
Am I?
You know we can. You know the last indigenous. You know the Nubian.
Am I?
You know the Nubians, right? They lose against Sennacherib, right? He was an Assyrian. They
I know that.
Okay, so now the Assyrians, and then after the Assyrians, right? The Persians defeat the Assyrians. They don't know me.
While they were apparently.
Let me finish my point. And then the Greeks come in, right? And they defeat the Persians, right? We know that.
I
right?
know that too.
And then the Romans defeat them. I'm saying the Ptolemies, nigga, these are not indigenous dynasties at this point.
The Romans did
Stop it. So you trying to tell us?
Romans didn't defeat the Greeks.
Man,
it's a part of
the Romans didn't defeat the Greeks.
That's not our argument.
Alexander died.
My argument is this: that the very people that you worship and care so much about aren't even in power, my nigga. Not even, they not doing none of that. They not doing what you think they doing. The shit is over with. The shit is so then the Greeks, when the Greeks went there, so they was talking to the Persians, my nigga. Because that's the royal family in charge at that point.
So the Greeks did not imitate Kemetic.
I'm saying I tell you what, name a Greek that you want to name, and we're gonna see if we can prove you went to Egypt. See, I can beat you up. See, I did this for myself. Name one nigga. Name one. I'm waiting. Go ahead.
Alexander of Macedonia was a Greek.
Nigga, name somebody who died. Name a Greek philosopher, yo, because that's the ones with the knowledge. I don't hear them about no damn Alexander.
You know, there's a story. I think it was Pluto who told a story of one of his ancestors.
You have to answer the question, yo.
I'm answering your question. There's a story. I think it was Pluto who wrote a story about one of his ancestors having contact with a Kemetic priest, and the Kemetic priest telling him that they have baby knowledge.
Man, stop it, man.
Pluto? Did you say Pluto?
May have been. I'm not sure. One of
Pluto.
them.
Sure wasn't Goofy?
One of them.
You're sure?
Named Solon. Named Solon.
I'm going to ask you one more time. The Greek philosopher Pluto?
It may have been him. I Googled it. I don't know exactly who it was.
Pluto.
It may have been.
All right.
May have been. I did Google it, and it did say something about one of them writing a story about his ancestor named Solon, who spoke to an aged Kemetic priest, and the Kemetic priest told him, "You have baby knowledge."
Sounds good, man.
Maybe not.
You're lost. What makes it even more crazy? It's like,
oh man,
it would make sense for people who are in the Mediterranean to meet up with other people on the Mediterranean. It would be that geography isn't big, correct? Like the thing that's so extraordinary about it is these groups of people would have been in contact and sharing just by proximity any number of things. That if you could narrow it down, you should at least, in your case, if you were adamant, which you seem to be stuck on almost a very narrow band, you should just call it Egyptian or Kemetic science because you're really focused on that narrow place. That would seem much more reasonable because none of the Greeks did not go down to modern day Zimbabwe, correct? And you know that. And so they got it from a region that they were closely tethered to. And yes, no one is denying that people in close proximity don't exchange information. That is how humans work. And that's why you see so many similarities. I mean, the reason why Christianity looks like Judaism and Islam looks like Christianity, correct? Because they all came from the same place. In essence, they're sharing all of the same deities and information and structures, etc. That is how humans naturally work. And so I think what you're getting stuck on is words like Europe and Africa. And then you're just saying, well, someone came and they were on just this 5-mile radius of Africa. And then you're like, well, that's all of Africa. And that just doesn't compute. That just doesn't work that way.
No, that's not what I said.
You keep saying that. That is exactly what you're saying. You try to pretend you don't say things, but you're inferring it. And I'm going to teach you a word. I'm going to help you with something.
So I don't think there was science
when you infer something, I'm helping you understand what you're inferring.
So you really think I don't think there's science
what you're trying to do is play word games. And what I'm helping you understand is there is no way in which you believe that anyone on this panel doesn't understand that the Greeks and other people within the Mediterranean didn't go to Egypt and other parts of Northern Africa. We all agree that. And we also agree that Egyptians would have also engaged with people in southern parts of Europe. No one is saying no to that. What we're saying is your extraordinary claims are just not founded. So you're taking a factual information, a group of people got together. Yes. The other things are things you're conflating, and we are not arguing the truth. You're arguing your conflation. And that's the part that you seem to not understand.
So what am I conflating?
You're conflating that because of people who are within proximity, who more than likely would have known about each other, correct? And that as they were conquering each other, they would have been exchanging information. And given the fact that if you were the new conquerors, you want to take over, and what Ankh went over is that as these different empires begin to collapse, the new empire would take over because they valued taking over other empires. And you can see that happen all over the world, not just there in the Middle East or just there in the Mediterranean. You see it in the Middle East, you see it in China, correct? You see it all over the world and how empires come to power and how they lose power. Everything else you're saying is that they went there and had talked to an ancient African priest, and then that is the beginning of all human knowledge that somehow
Did you hear me say that?
You are not saying that.
Did you hear me say that?
What you try to do is try to use woo-woo and you use soft language to pretend, and so you try to weave in and out. Well, I didn't say that.
Brother,
I'm explaining to you what you're attempting to say.
So no.
You've been saying it all night.
You don't know what I'm attempting to say.
No, you're
let me say peace, everybody. I'm out, man. I'm holler at you. I'm out.
If I wanted to say that, I would have said that. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. So don't put words I'm about to say. I said that.
What you say? What you say? We listen.
I didn't say that. He heard
what did you say? What did you say?
He's trying to interpret English because apparently what I said wasn't English. So now you have to interpret English. I said exactly.
I speak English very well.
So
and I understand it better than you.
So do I.
You understand words, but you don't know how to put them together.
You're the only one who understands the English vocabulary now. All right, cool.
You brought that up. See, I didn't do that. So you wanted to go there. We can go there all you want.
Right. I said what I said.
It's apparent that many words.
I didn't say that.
Yes.
I said nothing of the sort. I said, and I didn't.
You can keep pretending. I can do this.
Disagree with what I said.
I just go get some water and I can be here all night. And we can go for it.
I said, because I didn't say nothing like that.
Yes, you did. Stop pretending you don't say things. We know what you're saying. We know what you're inferring.
No, you
I'm just helping you. I'm helping you tease out what you're trying to say.
You didn't. No. If I wanted to say that, I would have said that. I don't have to try to say that because I speak English.
Yes, you do.
And I know how to speak English very well, just like you do. So don't do that. I have a pretty decent vocabulary. And
I didn't bring up you speaking. I did not say anything about your English. You brought that up.
Right.
Don't see that? Okay. So don't be mad when someone pushes back on you.
I said what I said, not what you said I said.
I didn't say anything about you speaking English.
All right, then. Don't interpret my English because I said what I already said.
He is seeing right through your flim flam. Let me say it in other words.
I would expect
what you're doing is you're talking around the subject matter. You're inferring and implying. You're not being direct and you're being exposed. So to run to I didn't say that, right, is just a statement of ignorance. You didn't use those particular words. But everything he is saying is what you are implying. First of all, your focus seems to be solely on what was done in Kemet, right? And you keep referring to that, and you make statements as if the highest. So you're not talking about African science. You're talking about Kemet.
So where's Kemet? Where's Kemet? Kemet is not in Africa?
No. Don't do the semantic jargon. That's the point we're trying to make. That is a particular civilization, a particular culture, a particular group of people that was the first empire, and they distinguished themselves from the people around them. So if your focus is primarily on quote unquote Kemet, if your focus is primarily on quote unquote Kemet, then you're not talking about a universality. You're talking about the practices done in ancient Egypt. Now, even to Asar's point in the debate,
There's only
even
one
though
culture in
wrong,
Africa.
he was referencing universal activities. He was talking about the
There
ability
is
to
only
track
one culture
animals.
in
He
Africa,
was
Cedric.
talking about the ability to know which herbs, etc., play specific
There's only
roles.
one culture in
These
Africa,
are
Cedric.
universal concepts.
There's
So
only one
even there,
culture in Africa, Cedric.
even there, labeling something African science is a misnomer to that point. Again, human evolution is prior to modern human, right? Anatomically modern human. We have evidence of Neanderthals, Denisovans, and prehistoric humans engaging in these activities. So there again, it shows you the universality of these concepts. They are endemic to human beings.
Okay,
The
Cedric.
rest of Africa didn't
Okay,
build
Cedric.
stone monuments that didn't serve a
tripping.
purpose. They were
I'm tripping.
busy. They were busy developing variolation, for example. They were busy developing wares. Right. This is technology. We acknowledge all of this. It is not science. That requires a cognitive shift, a paradigm shift, a way in thinking, a way in approaching the same data that we had. The data was already collected. When we decide to figure out the hows, the whys, that thought process change, and that again is a human endeavor. If you look at the development of science all over the world, it's when humans started to make significant contact amongst each other. You see the explosion happening in Asia at the point that there was contact with the West, and you see the development while people are coming into contact. Science requires a paradigm shift. To loosely apply this term willy-nilly all over the world is ridiculous. And then to claim African science as if the things you're talking about are unique to the continent is ridiculous.
Yeah, so let me show you how we get down right here. That's how we get down, right? You go get a source. This is the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, a peer-reviewed academic resource. Look it up, yo. EDU, right? So let's see Thales. We know who he is, man. He sets up like a school in Ionia, right? So let's come to his travels here. This is how you're supposed to be getting down. Let's look at the travels. Let's see. The earthquake Thales primary principle. Thales says, what is the primary principle? Earthquake theory, all things from God. Thales, astronomy, eclipses, solstice. Let me see. Thales, discovery of seasons. Let me see. Following travels. Let me find his travels. Let me find Thales travels.
Number 11. Number 11.
Number 11. Okay, so we come here to his look. First of all, it's a possible travels.
Okay.
All right, so we don't jump out the window here. Okay. Talks about, let me see, Eudemus, who was one of Aristotle students, believed that Thales had traveled to Egypt, right? And they give you where you can read it at, right? And it talks about a number of ancient sources support that opinion. It say, including Paphilia, who held that he spent time with an Egyptian priest. I think you may have mentioned that, right? Let's see. There's another report. Let me see. Thales measured the height of the pyramids by the shadows cast. Plutarch's. Okay. Thales. Let me see. Thales gave an explanation for the inundation. All right. This is important because the Egyptians actually, that's how they got their geometry, was actually remeasuring the land after the floods annually would destroy it. Okay. It said he may have diversed this explanation after witnessing the phenomenon which Herodotus later described. Right? Now, let's come down to here. Okay. Perhaps earlier, Malleus held a trading concession at, what's this? Naucratis. Okay. What's the word? Naucratis? Did I say it right? Naucratis?
Yes.
Naucratis? Okay. On the canopic month of the Nile.
That was a Greek colony.
Okay, and it is possible that Thales visited on what? A trading mission. Okay, we looking for some all the knowledge and wisdom. Hold on, because you know Thales is a key figure when you start talking about Greek philosophy. Like he got that first school, and he's trying to push some early proto-scientific things here. Now, travels to Egypt would not have been difficult, okay, because it's 5-day ride. Got that? That's Homer, Ulysses. Hold on. Similar journeys. Let me move forward. The wealth of Malayas was a result of its success as trading center. Okay, and let me see. There would have been no difficulty arranging patches. Hold on. All right, here we go. Now, Josephus, that's that Jewish, right? He be messing up everything. This is what's important to me, and this is what the Black Atheist is all about. Josephus wrote that Thales, right, was a disciple of the Egyptians and the Chaldeans. Y'all leave that out, which suggests that he visited the Near East. It is thought that Thales visited the Babylonians and the Chaldeans and had access to astronomical records, which enabled him to predict the solar eclipse. So now we got to add the Chaldeans in there, and we got to add the Babylonians in there. We forget all that. The statement is the Greeks got everything from Egypt. That's not true. If you read peer-reviewed information, it will balance your approach out, bro. I took you down this long trail to say, come on, man, these people did what? They diversified themselves in visiting other cultures to gain the knowledge and the wisdom. This is the understanding that we supposed to promote to our babies. Not they went to one damn place, bro. That's not how it actually works. It's a diversity of visiting different places and taking certain ideas from them and taking them back home and work it out. Not one place. We some one place wild people at this point. But that's not what the peer-reviewed sources say. The peer-reviewed sources clearly state that this man visited several places. Very interesting there, bro. So you have a source that exclusively says that Thales or any Greek philosopher strictly got all their wisdom and knowledge from Egypt. I'm waiting on that, bro. I've already did it and beat myself up and realized that I was overwhelmed and I was wrong. This occurred 15 years ago when I got into the Greek philosophers. Go ahead. I'm listening. You got the mic.
Okay, I never said that the Greeks got their knowledge exclusively from Kemet.
Okay, what you say?
We know the Greeks stole from everybody, so that is not
stole. No, I'm not
stole. I'm going to use the word stole.
No, we're not going to allow it. That's not.
No, true. I'm going to use the word.
No, that's not how.
I agree, but that's the word I'm going to use.
No, you can't use a word that's incorrect. We look for correctness around here. We don't look for it. We don't look for saying anything out your mouth, bro. That's not fair.
Academic discipline.
That's my word. That's
cultural diffusion, cultural transmission. They interchanged ideas. The Greek were just as much influenced by the Egyptians as the Egyptians influenced by the Greeks. This was cultural transmission. There's no stealing. There's no CIA agency that's conducting organized espionage. Come on.
Name me one thing that the so-called ancient Egyptians got from the Greeks.
What? Come on, man.
No, Cedric, your screen is black, by the way, Anhk.
I know it is. Come on, man. You actually crazy.
No, he made a statement. I said, show me something that
I know measuring that. Hold on, I got you. Understanding the size and shape of the earth, geodesy.
Really?
Yeah.
Now you can't be serious, Anhk.
I'm being serious.
That's not a serious statement, right?
Yeah, it's a serious statement. Geodesy. I'm gonna play it for you. We're gonna do your favor. We're gonna do you a solid. I'm being dead serious, yo. And the funny part about it is he did it. Look, he did it in Egypt. He took Alexandria and he was in the city of Alexandria. And I forget what the other city. He measured the shadow in the daggone well to figure out the size and shape of the earth. Crazy as hell. I can't. Astophanes, that's his name. Am I saying that right? Said Astophanes.
Well, I never
Yeah,
heard that one
yeah.
before.
Astophanes is a Greek.
I never heard that
And
before.
the field that he's started is geodesy. You never heard that before? Well, you asked the question. I just
never heard that story.
Here, I'm gonna give you the story. Here you go. Wait. This is a good one. This is my
I think you
favorite.
know everything, so
I know nobody knows everything.
Enlighten me on this particular story, then.
No, I'm about to. I'm gonna play it for you because I can play this. This is funny. Yeah, I'm gonna play this for you. We'll all enjoy this. Let me see. Here you go. Yeah, about to get our thing on right now. Here we go. Let me share my screen and get this all together with this one here, yo. This is what I beat the brakes off Sanchez with. Beat him, bludgeoned him half to death. This is what I beat the flat earthers up half to death because they don't study.
A long time ago, in ancient Egypt, a clever human named Eratosthenes figured out that when the sun was directly above a deep well in one city, you could stand in a nearby city to the north, measure the angle of the shadows there, and multiply that by the distance between the two cities to get the distance around the entire Earth. With that, the science of geodesy was born. Geodesy deals with the measurement and representation of the Earth, or to put it more simply, it's the science of where things are, and just as importantly, where they have been and where they are going. Through geodesy, we learn the rough size and shape of the Earth, the direction of its rotation, its distance from the sun, and more. Through triangulation, we could create detailed maps of entire countries. We even figured out that the Earth isn't quite a perfect sphere. And after some arguments and expeditions to Lapland and Peru, we measured that it's just a bit thicker in the middle. Building on this information, we found tons of practical uses for geodesy. Using stars as reference points and accurate watches, we could reliably determine latitude and longitude so that ships could cross giant oceans to get where they needed to go. Explorers visited uncharted regions, mapped them, and even found the tallest mountain in the world. Later, engineers built railroads to get us to all of these places. With a little math and the same reference surface, rail tunnels could be started on both sides of a mountain and somehow still meet in the middle. Life was good. And once we invented radio telescopes and satellites, things got even better. When scientists used a bunch of small radio dishes like one big one to look at quasars, somebody got the idea that you could use these measurements to determine very accurately the distance between the telescopes. Now we can look at the movement of the Earth's crust, changes in how long days are, and how the Earth wobbles on its axis. Satellites also became very important. By analyzing their orbits, we can learn about our planet's changing size and shape and gravity. And by making laser measurements, we can look at everything from changes in the height and shape of the oceans and ice sheets to how the tides work. So, from ancient Egypt to the hundreds of satellites in orbit today, geodesy continues to have a huge impact on our lives. And all because somebody, a long time ago, decided to look down a well.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For all y'all flat earthers out there, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That's a Greek. Astophanes. Yeah. He did that measurement, I believe, from what was it? Alexander the Cyrene, goddammit. Now what? I'm listening.
Well, it was a great conversation, but I'm an old man, so I need to go and sleep.
Yeah, I like that answer. Good answer.
All right. So it was a good conversation.
Appreciate it.
But I'm not giving up ancient Kemet for nobody. You could call me Blackly Black.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't. Whoa.
I'm gonna accept that.
Whoa, I didn't say give up. No, I didn't say that. We said give up the ignorant thought around it. That's the difference there.
Yo. If you call it ignorant, then cool.
No, ignorant simply means like. I
know what ignorant means, Anhk.
Okay, so you said, show me where the Egyptians learned something from the Greeks. I just showed you. And you act like you got old and gotta go. See?
No, I'm not.
I just wanted to hit you with that. You don't gotta say
right. If you say so.
You just saying it though. I just gave you the video. That's
okay, so you learn one thing, according to the video. Okay.
One thing, do you know how serious that was? One thing.
One for the Greeks. One for the Greeks, hooray. If you say so. What do you want me to tell you?
You know what I did do though? I actually accomplished what you couldn't. So what was it that the Greeks learned from the Egyptians? And source up. What? I'm listening. Go ahead.
Who said I couldn't show sources?
No, just tell me. I believe you. Tell me what was it the Greeks learned from the Egyptians? That's all. Go ahead.
You don't know?
No, I'm asking you. Seriously. Pretty sure. I know. I would say herbs, because they was renowned in herbs. The Egyptians was.
All right.
What you saying? Go ahead. We listening. Say something crazy. I know you're gonna say something.
No, I think I should do my research and do a presentation on it.
Oh, you gotta do some research? So you promote something you don't even know? Yeah, go ahead.
You don't tell me you want me to show you sources, so let me go and find some proper sources.
You don't gotta show us, so just let me hear it. Let me hear it. You mean tell me you don't know? And yo, do you know I'm
gonna use the proper method by showing you sources as opposed to just talking.
No, you know what I did? I said, I told you what it was, and then I gave you the source, and then I went and got the source. You don't know?
One who said source up or shut up.
I know, but you don't know. No, I don't want no source for this block of the conversation. So you won't fake this out.
So let me do it real quick.
Just hold on, I'm answer that question. I'm trying to see them answer. You gonna answer the question? If you ain't gonna answer the question, it's cool. And you ain't got a gun in your head.
I want to show sources. I don't want to just answer the question.
Okay,
I want to come on and do a presentation so you can critique me properly and say, at least say, you showed a presentation. That presentation is garbage.
When you gonna do? When you want to do that?
It's up to you, Anhk.
Tomorrow.
Nah. You know why?
20 minutes.
No, let me tell you why. Because I made the mistake of rushing presentation, and that's never good.
Okay, yeah, take your time. So, let me know when you're gonna be ready.
If you want to give me a week, I can give you something decent.
I give you a week. Bring something decent.
And this way, at least when you critique me, I have something to show, and you can say that presentation was garbage, and I'm not talking.
I got.
And then what I could do now, once I give you a presentation, I can say you must bring forth an opposing presentation as opposed to just talking.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm getting you to a proper standard of having an actual academic argument as opposed to just screaming and yelling.
Appreciate you. Hey, look, you stuck right here. He say the white man created everything according to Ankh. See how he did that? See?
But I didn't say that. So
of course. No. And this is what, listen. I'm going to show you. This is super slick right here, yo. This what you, Grant is trying to say, yo. You're not saying it, but you're really saying it. You don't have to say it. Yet the way you explain yourself says exactly what that man said. He just came right out and said it. See? You basically saying that we're saying our ancestors didn't do nothing. It wasn't on the level.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
What I would say.
What was you saying?
What I would say is I think that I don't appreciate you bringing on all these European scholars. That was my beef.
What?
That was my beef.
What European scholars?
You brought on a few European scholars.
I'm checking out too. Good night.
You did. You brought a couple of European scholars.
I didn't know.
And Egyptologists.
I didn't know.
You did.
Did this make you about what?
I said you did bring on most of the European scholars and Egyptologists when we were having the Black Egypt debate. You did do that.
I cheated.
After you brought on one black scholar.
I cheated, yo? You said I was cheating.
No, I'm saying I would have liked to seen some black faces in there. That's just my personal preference.
Why the face? How about this?
I would accuse you of that.
I'm gonna help you out.
And say that boldly.
You see this? What that say?
I think you brought too many European scholars. I'll say that boldly.
No problem. What that say right here?
Timeline of the history of the scientific method.
Okay, what's the first thing you see on that?
This timeline is 1600 BC. The Edwin Smith papyrus are unique.
So that's the first stage, huh? See, so white people know this though. You get it? Like we sitting here acting like the world don't understand.
Listen, I'm just one of those people. I'm just one of those people. I like to see black faces when we're having these discussions.
No, that's not what you need. No, you want to see. What you want to see is educated people on the subject. But anyway, the scientific method starts right here, yo. That first rudimentary on the head go. Yeah, all the way to Europe, bro. Like I've been saying, look, all the way to Europe. Look, see. So why would you look at 1900 to present and say that's the white man thing? It don't make no sense because it's what? There's a word there, accumulative. See that word again? See, Sir Isaac Newton, y'all want to talk crazy about these people. But wait a minute, these people don't get to that spot without starting here, bro. See? Theos, look, Theos. There's some Greeks, Theos. See? They all added to it. See, Theos what? Raises the study of nature from the realm of mythological to the level of empirical study. See that? See how important those Greek philosophers was? See? There you go. See, and we get all the way to here. So, yo, ain't nobody, and as a matter of fact, the thing is crazy to me, yo. If you go to any article with science, they all mention the Babylonians, they all mention the Egyptians, the Africans. Like, y'all act like they not saying that. That's what gives me. Y'all act like, you know what? You know what I learned, Grant? They all think it's in a secret vault called the library. Hey, but listen, we waiting on that though, Francis. Seriously. Appreciate you coming through. Right. And Grant, you know, I appreciate you coming through, bro. Every time.
I'm gonna put my email in the private chat for you so you can email me, right?
All right.
When you're ready.
All right, go ahead, put it in there. You ain't driving. I'm waiting for you driving it.
So,
yeah.
All right, so there it is there. So you can email me, and maybe in a week or so, I will put together a presentation on this particular topic. And then you could put together an opposing presentation so we can have a proper academic argument.
I ain't arguing. I just simply asked you to show me where the...
I want to have a proper academic disagreement. Instead of us just talking, I want a source for source. And then
we don't got a disagreement though, do we?
Do we really have a disagreement?
No.
Or am I tripping?
You tripping. I just asked you to show me, you know, what the Egyptians told the Greeks. That's it.
Okay. I think I could do that.
I'm saying medical plants, I thought they did a great job of actually being renowned in that.
Yeah.
Showing the Greeks. I think that's enough, ain't it?
So email me, give me a week. I'll put together what I can put together. And then once I put together, you can decide if it's trash or not based on me actually giving you an actual presentation. Is that fair enough?
I think it's super fair. Hold on.
So at least now when Grant comes on next time, he can say, point number 1 is garbage, point number 2 is garbage. That's historically inaccurate. I agree with this. I disagree with that. Because that's what you really wanted me to do.
No, I just asked a question.
That's what you appreciate, being Ankh the God Killer.
Yep, I appreciate that.
You would respect that more. Even though you're probably gonna curse me out and just tear it down, but at least
wow, I'm not. Then I would be a hater. If you come in here with some bubblegum popcorn, yo, then I ain't got no choice. But if you come with some, I'm like, damn. Okay, I ain't a hater, yo. I'm saying it's for the community, it ain't for me. But I know there's a lot of things I learned in the community that was not accurate. We told the Greeks everything and left out everybody, like it was a secret force field around the Greeks that made them just boom, 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 straight to Egypt. Couldn't go nowhere else. I'm not listening to you. You ain't in Egypt. Yeah, that's how y'all teach that, yo. Yeah, that's not right.
Nah, I don't think I said that though.
You didn't say that, but that's what you allude. See, that's what you're talking about, Grant. He alludes to everything.
It sounds like I might have been alluding to that.
Yeah, you be using a alluding guy. Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right, man. It's that time. We out, man. Right. Appreciate you, Grant.
It was a good conversation. Don't mind. Oh, you beat me up though, especially Grant.
We weren't trying to beat you up. We were trying to get you on code, yo. You off code. You somewhere in the. You ain't even in the Mediterranean. I don't know where you at. Trying to help you out, yo. Trying to, because you can read some meta, yo. Imagine how powerful that is in having some literacy in science. So you'd be a force to reckon with at that point.
All right, brother. You guys have a good night, right?
All right, man. Peace. Grant, you got a closing statement?
No, you're great show as always. I've been hovering in the background listening to all the different debates, but
interesting, right?
Crazy, right? Everything you guys are doing is great. It's amazing. So thank you for having me once again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you for sliding through, Grant, man. All right. For sure, man. Man, make sure y'all support the debates, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Get this one. I think he might be running. Easy Scams, I think he's running. If you're going to do it, it's going to be April 12th. It's the Bible, the Word of God. All right? We got this one. The God Best versus God Energy, where the Moors who conquered Spain, Black Negro. April the 4th. We got this one. right here. Was Jesus a fraud? Was Jesus alive? That's round 1 and 2. Morpheus versus Apostle. And right here, y'all see it. They always messing it up and always talking that craziness. I don't know why they do it, but they do it. Right? I be on Sarnetta's tomorrow, man. All right. Sarnetta Studios, man. Make sure y'all support the pseudo killers, man. Make sure you hit the damn Cash App going out the door, man. Show some love, man. It's been a long, powerful show, man. Show some love, man. But y'all know what I always say, though, man? I make a serious point here, man. I said we always smoking on pseudos.
Smoking those pseudo all day long. Smoking those pseudo all day long. It's hot, yeah, the fire lit. Hold back, jump in the beat line here. Smoking those pseudo all day long. The bad music all day long. The bad music all day long. Smoking those pseudo all day long. Smoking those pseudo all day long. It's hot, yeah, the fire lit. Hold back, jump when the beat line hit. Smoking those pseudo all day long. The bad music all day long. The bad music all day long. Smoking those pseudo all day long. Smoking those pseudo all day long. It's hot, yeah, the fire lit. Whole block jump when the beat line hit. Smoking those pseudo all day long. Bad music all day long. The bad music all day long.
Man, look, man. Man, y'all listen to the Community Skeptics, man. It's that damn Sunday show, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat and all the support, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit that Cash App going out the door, man. Show some love, man. Appreciate everybody that came through, man. It was a powerful discussion, man, with powerful people, man. Man, I be fed up, man. You're doing way too much, man. Like, nobody just want to learn, man. It's crazy. But I'm your host, Bobby Banger, and with that, we out.